Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the watch along for today's must-win game as Tottenham are at home to Everton, aka the Toffees. Of course, today we are joined by co-host Jack Kanicki, and as always, the one and only Matt Hayes. Jack, how you keeping, my man?
Looking forward to this, Dave. We're doing a big trial roundup. Hopefully, a watch along experience that will be much, much better for the Harris Army and the rest of the Irish Hotspur Army for the future. With Everton against Spurs, Dave, I don't know. It's hard to know what Spurs will turn out this week. It's good to have Matty Hayes with this one, though, because, it's kind of a new sort of guest, maybe different sort of rants, during the game, maybe to get from somebody. But looking forward to it, Dave. Looking forward to it.
No, 100%. I definitely cannot wait. And Matt, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, look, Spurs are playing. I'm good. That might change soon. But no, looking forward to the game. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys, and I'm looking forward to being back on a watch along for a change.
Do you know what, Matt? It's been a while. In fact, it's been too long. It's great to have you back. The only thing I would say is I would rather have Harry Winks playing when you are back, just to hear some of the sounds that come out of your mouth when that guy plays. But no, in all honesty, it is great to have you back, Matty. And it's good to see that you are doing well. Everybody, as you can see up in the top corner, you do have the score line, and you also have the timer as well, which will be going down, so everybody can see exactly what minute we're on if you want to sync up for the game. Now, do bear with us today, guys. It is a bit of a trial run, and we've had to use a complete new system to get the scoreboard and the timer as well, a complete new system. So, guys, just bear with us on that. If anything does go right, but we'll be very quick to get it sorted out. Jack, we have a super chat from Dark Song G to get to.
Sorry, muted myself. We have a super chat from Dark Sun G. Dave saying, "Come on, you Spurs. It's nice to see you, Matt, for a watch along with David. It brings back memories of last season on your channel. I hope you can join often. 4-1 to the Spurs. I'm glad that Gray isn't playing today. I'm really glad that Damari Gray isn't playing today. Yeah. He's looked really good for them this season. I feel like he looks great off of the left. But to be honest, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'm not so sure anymore. I think that is, a bit of a benefit towards them, and I am a bit worried. But Matty, Dark Sun G is happy to see you back here on the watch-alongs.
Do you know what? Dark Sun G is probably my favorite viewer from my watch-alongs last season, I'll be honest. I mean, incredible input as always. I'm a very, very big supporter of all the channels, so thank you, Dark Sun G, for the kind words. And I'm glad that you're looking forward to the stream and happy to have me here. I'll try to get on as often as I can. Hopefully, with work will allow me to do that a bit more soon. If David and Jack will have me, of course. I'm just looking forward to the game tonight.
No, of course, that goes without saying, Matty. You're more than welcome anytime. And hopefully, all this people missing you, hopefully it gives you more encouragement to keep streaming, Matty. That's what we all want. The Spurs community is definitely a better place with you in it and streaming than what it is without you, for sure. Chris Alton is new channel member as well. Welcome to Green. Big up, Chris. We do run fan shows every Monday as well. Well, today is Monday, but it'll be tomorrow because of the game today. So hopefully we do get to see you on that. Guys, as you can see, the starting lineups for both teams are scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Of course, for Tottenham, it is Hugo Lloris in goals. It is Session at left wing back. We have no Reguilon today, which is a big call. Right wing back, he sticks with the Irish Cafu, aka Doherty. We have the three amigos across the back. We have Romero, we have Moon Boots, and we have Ben Davies in the middle. Though the Uruguayan Dembele does return to the team, Bentancur is back in as well. He is in beside Pirlo, Emil, Hoy Busquets. He's in the team today as well, beside Bentancur. And then up front, you have the ginger from Sweden, Kulusevski. You have my man, Big H, up front, who actually loves goals against Everton. He's got, I think it's 11 in his last 9, 12 in 14, 12 in his last 14 as well. Absolutely loves goals against Everton. So hopefully he can turn up. And then Sonny today, who has been getting a lot of criticism, but has been directly involved in 10 goals out of his last 11 Premier League games for Tottenham as well. So hopefully we can put that Everton team to the test today. But look, Matty, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game, man?
Look, it's a strong lineup. I think the we'd all prefer to have Oliver Skip in that team, probably over Pierre-Emile Højbjerg because of the start that Bentancur has made at Spurs. I think aside from the Skip absence, and depending on who you prefer at left wing back, it's probably the strongest starting 11 we could go with. That back three now of Romero, Dyer and Davis seems to be pretty set in stone when those players are fit. And look, it may not be the three players that we want to see back there on a long-term basis, but you can't argue against the fact that consistency can only be good for us defensively going forward. I was watching a bit of your pre-match build-up, Dave, and you're saying it's only like 11 clean sheets in the last 12, or we've conceded in 11 of our last 12 games.
Yeah.
And if we're chopping and changing that back four every game, well, that's only going to make things worse. So the fact that we have a bit of consistency back there is good. And the exact same can be said about the front line, except those are three players that we're probably very happy to see up there in Kulusevski, Son and Kane. Hopefully they can come up with the goods today, but it's a strong lineup. Not our strongest, but a strong lineup for sure.
Yeah. And even just with that defence, Matty, look, we've been pining. We've had a longing for Dyer, Romero and Davies to be put together for some time now. But we're still conceding goals with them in the lineup. How can we stop conceding goals? Because if we want to get top four, we can't keep conceding at this rate.
Yeah, it's a big concern, and it's one that what four managers now have been unable to solve, with Mourinho, Mason for his short tenure, Nuno for his probably even shorter tenure, and Conte now. You know, there's a reason that it's happening, and I think we've all spoken quite a bit about the lack of cover that we're getting from the midfield, especially when that midfield is Højbjerg and Winks in particular. But like I said, it's not the three defenders that we'd like to see back there. It's the best options we have at the moment, but ultimately I don't think you'd find a single Tottenham fan who wants Ben Davies to be our starting left centre-back next season, for example. Yeah. And that's not a criticism of Davies directly, maybe an indirect criticism, but there are better options out there, and it's probably one of the weaker positions in our team. So I think we are just lacking that quality, and as well, Conte's spoken so much about the inconsistency in this team, the up and the downs. And I think one thing that he'll be a bit reluctant to stay in the press is an seeming incompetence, I suppose, of some of those players to follow basic tactics. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but I am talking about Emerson Royal in particular. I lied that first part. But yeah, hopefully Conte can be the man to kind of stem the issues that we're having there. But I think the personnel being changed will need.
You're going to anger Jack with your Emerson slander, Matty, so you are. But before we bring Jacko in, Kev Williams says, please Spurs, let's get the win and push on for fourth. Kev Williams, yeah, look, we definitely need the win, my man. Look, United in disarray. Ronaldo's out injured, but he's not injured. Cavani doesn't want to play. They gave up in the Man City game. So top four is definitely still up for grabs. But look, Jack, maybe you can lead us into kickoff. I mean, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game, man?
I'm really worried, Dave, in the case that, Benitez against, last time was just, way too pragmatic. It was a really cagey sort of game. And, this time around, who knows with, maybe Lampard, it could be something, a bit different. I feel like he does probably go for goal a bit more. I think he does try, to, open things up a bit more, which could mean that could help us out, perhaps easy to counterattack. But that could also mean, maybe a better chance of Everton scoring against us. And let's be honest, I mean, Richarlison, I think, caused us a lot of problems last time out. And so that maybe is my one little worry, Dave, is, Lampard might get a bit more out of some of those front players for Everton this time.
Yeah. No. Well, there's definitely a chance. There's definitely a chance to have a lot more players back. Like, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's going to be a threat early. What I will say is a big, the fact that Yerry Mina out is absolutely huge for us, because we cannot defend set pieces whatsoever. Let me see. Guys, we are working on getting everybody's comments up, so just bear with us. Like I did say, it is a new software and a new system, guys. So just bear with us on that. And we are just getting the stream ready for the game as well. Matty, the return of Dele Alli, what sort of reception do you think the guy's going to get?
I think he'll get a great reception from the Tottenham crowd. I don't. A lot of Spurs fans will tell you that he maybe stayed 12, 18 months a bit too long, and he could have gone out on a nicer note. Look, he still would have been going out on bad form and after a bad couple of years. But I think when you're in a situation like Dele Alli was in at Tottenham, every 6 months that you stay, every transfer window that you remain at the club, I think the kind of reputation that you have will drop a little bit, but I think he'll get a good reception. And to be honest, I'm absolutely terrified of him scoring the winner today. And wouldn't it just be typical Spurs if he did? I hate being a negative him, but it just, I don't think that would surprise any of us really.
No, it would be. It would be. And it looks like Frank Lampard has gone for a 4-3-3 against Tottenham's 3-4-3. So it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on. Anybody that does want to sync up with us, um, the timer is up on the screen. You can see it above myself and Jack there. You can just simply sync up with us and there if anybody wants to. It is an Everton throw-in. It's thrown into Allen. Allen's gone backwards. It's a long ball. Eric Dyer deals with it comfortably. Bad touch by Ben Davies. Jesus Christ. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the ball. Anthony Gordon cuts inside, being harassed by Højbjerg. Wasn't enough. Van der Beek's gone out wide. And it's slowed down a little. It hasn't started good. It started with Everton on the front foot, which shouldn't be happening at home. Look, Matty, I was asking Jack in the build-up about our inconsistency problems and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on it? Why are we so inconsistent?
I think there is an element of complacency in there because, like, when you go to the Etihad on a Saturday, and you win 3-2, even though it was a late winner by Harry Kane. I think City fell asleep after getting that equaliser and expected us to sit back and just hope to hold on for the draw. I think they were caught napping at the back because of that. But when you get that win, and what you could arguably say was a very deserved win, I think going to Turf Moor that Wednesday, you kind of feel, well, we beat City, we're going to beat Burnley. I think there's that element to it, but I also think it's what this team has been over the last couple of years. We always beat Man City, but we do always lose to the Burnleys or the Southamptons or Wolves, whatever it is. And I think it just does come down to a kind of weaker mentality that when we're the underdogs, we seem to thrive off that lack of pressure and, off no one expecting anything from us. But when we're expected to win that game and we have to take control of the game and we have to try and break down a low block or something like that, I think we do like that mentality, but also that ability to break down a Burnley, which we saw in abundance in that game the other week. But as long as Conte can fix what's there, I don't really care what the reason is. But while we're still in this position, I think it's very important that we identify what that is, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely spot on. It's a Tottenham free kick here. We've gone short. It's from who's that? Bentancur to Højbjerg. Let's see what we can do here. Højbjerg to Ben Davies. Ben Davies gone out wide to Sessegnon. Open your body, son. He's driving at them. He tries to play it through the legs up to Sonny. He doesn't reach him, but that's good play, and that's an Everton throw-in. Jack, what do you make of the start by Tottenham Hotspur?
I've been trying to, figure it out on the back end, technologically, Dave. But so far, what I can say is, maybe it's always started off, a bit kind of messy, it feels like, from us. And all I can say is that hopefully we kind of clean it up, especially because what we want to be, Dave, is that team that scores first and then kind of just takes Everton's, kind of hope or momentum out of this game.
Yeah, no. Look, an early goal is crucial here. It takes away all the momentum for a team like Everton. It means they can't sit in as tight as they want. But to be fair, they are pressing us, and it's Gordon on the break, well defended by Ben Davies there. Good defended by Ben Davies. Oh, it's not.
What I will say is, I think off the ball we're quite energetic. And with Everton, as soon as they step foot into our half, we're swarming them. I wouldn't exactly call it a high press. But you can see their son pressing Seamus Coleman.
Yeah.
He gets past him. There's Davis. There's Højbjerg. They're all in there. Good covering from Romero as well. But it's a frantic start to the game. And for the neutral fan, this could be shaping up to be a good one, as this fixture always is. But,
definitely
there's more quality and composure needed on the ball.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I don't want it to be an open game anyway. Richarlison's picked up the ball. He's gone out wide into space too. I think it's Kenny. Oh, it's in. Oh, that. Oh, is that?
Oh, go Kulu! Get on your horse.
Come on, Kulu.
Come on, Kulusevski.
Then Kulu's skinned the centre back.
He doesn't.
Oh, come on, Kulu.
I don't know what it is with Kulusevski. He just doesn't seem to have
space.
pace on the ball.
Take your space there. Like, go wide, even if you don't have pace. Like, take your space.
Kulu
He's not a man for the counter attack.
T-Rex, does he have to go along with it? He's taking his time. Oh, that's cool. Calm and collective passing out there. Good harassment.
Don't get a yellow. Don't get a yellow. Don't get a yellow that early, please.
5 minutes in. Again, we're looking a bit sloppy on the ball in the first 5 minutes. We just need to calm it down, settle down, and get into this game. They're showing pictures of Fat Frank. Nobody wants to see him. Probably the right club for him as well. Toffees, that's probably why he took the job. Oh, it's a short kick out. Back to T-Rex arms. T-Rex arms. Oh, that's a dangerous ball. It's a good pressing by Sonny. Just couldn't get there. Just passed it round him. Go on, clatter him, Seth.
It's weird seeing Everton look good in possession.
Put him on the floor.
These stupid fouls.
No, you love to see that, Matt. I'm sorry. You love to see it. You love to see it. Set the tone. Show Mr. Gordon, where he belongs.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Sure, the nice Mr. Gordon where he belongs in the turf.
So I can understand both point of views. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. But at the same time, like, in their own half, you shouldn't really be fouling there. Especially when
give them get out of jail free card.
Yeah. But you do have to set the tone at some stage, like Jack was saying, you do have to set the tone. So you probably get away with them a bit earlier on in the game than what you would later in the game.
That's true.
Jason, I think we're just trying to figure out, I think that might have been a backup stream in case, this one, just absolutely, hit the fan and, nothing went well. I think that was a backup stream. So that is on us.
I'll take that one out now.
Apologies. Appreciate that, Dave, actually. Thank you.
He's
behind here. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Romero gets stuck.
Oh, yes.
Blow your whistle. He looked a mile offside.
Sir?
Oh,
Calvert here. Get there, Sess. Get stuck.
Well done, Session. Good covering. That other one is deleted, so this is the official one, everybody.
Where's the blue tick?
And do you know what? Twitter won't give me one, lad, even though they won't let me follow anybody anymore.
How many people do you follow?
I don't know. I think I've completed Twitter, to be honest. Oh, it's a good ball over top for Richarlison. Richarlison's he keeps he looks like a toddler learning
how to. You can't go through the back of him like that. Raf! Jesus,
Decore out to Coleman. Coleman with the ball in behind 4, and it's gone out over the end line for a goal kick. It's too much on it. Richarlison trying to get on the end of it. Too much on it. Kulu, getting dispossessed way too easy there. He's got to realize he doesn't have that much time on the edge of his own box. Everton, I have started the better team, though. They definitely have come out here energized, and they definitely sense a weakness, that's for sure. It's up to us to rise to it. Session takes 4 touches to get the ball under control, and he stays slow. Will you quicken up?
Yes, Højbjerg.
Well done, Højbjerg. Emil Brickhouse. He's running
there.
Pull out the card. That is a yellow all day long.
Not allowed to touch Pierre there, ref. Not allowed to touch Pierre, especially in front of Conte, especially in front of the faithful refs. You're not allowed to touch him there.
He's on it's a yellow card. Well, he's going to let him away with it. That's ridiculous. They've probably let him away with loads of things after that.
Can't touch Pierre in those scenarios. Can't touch Pierre in those scenarios. I'm sorry. Not allowed to. It's illegal.
Player on the ball. He's looking for one of his moon boots passes. Oh, it's a great pass into Session. He got
to move faster.
Come on. It's to the edge of the box. The bench score. Bench score to Cool. To Doherty ship ball in. Session still gets it. Kane, is he off? Is he on?
All class.
Can he get it across? Can he win the corner at least? Oh, Harry. Harry.
Class.
Honestly, he should be on Dancing with the Stars with that sort of footwork. That is unbelievable. He's gone for the quick throw. It's into Sonny. It's dispossessed. Oh, my voice can't take this. It's to Davies. Davies all the way across to across the Dyer. But Matty, Harry Kane's footwork there. He should be on Dancing with the Stars, man.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how he managed to keep possession there. Looked like he's about to be outnumbered down there in the corner flag, but he managed to win the throw-in.
Well, Ben Davies, sit him down, sir. Raf, there's no way. There's actually no way he's called that. It's not babysitting, Raf.
Oh, what is?
No, he's holding his head.
What did he do? Breed on him?
Apparently, that's a foul in every Premier League game now. Player pretends to be injured. Yeah, free kick.
Ridiculous. Carry on.
I didn't.
Nothing wrong with him. Look, you get up now, smiling in a minute.
Ben Davies couldn't hurt a fly.
I bet he's just scared of Sessignon. That's what happened.
Well, that's a cheeky little elbow. I don't mind that from Ben.
I don't like that new Premier League ball.
No, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
It looks like the one you get in Smiths for £5 that punctures every time you kick it.
Yeah, it does. Them knockoff balls. Everton been building up from the back here. It's gone out wide to who's that? Is that what's his name? Digne? No, it's not Digne.
Yeah, Kenny, I think.
His name? What's left back's name? Kenny. That's who it is. And it doesn't matter because it's gone straight back to Tottenham. It's gone into Kulu. Kulu lays it back to Doherty. Great play between the two of them. Kulusevski Go on, Kulu. Come on. Oh, he just shrugs him off like he's not even there. Shrugs him in the weight room. Dirty cuts inside to Harry Kane. Harry Kane
Come
with
on,
the
Sonny.
ball.
Come on, son.
Come on, Sonny.
It's you.
Play Sessegnon. Play on. Oh,
Sonny
Sonny tries to cut in on his right and has a shot. He did not. He just completely ignored the run of Sessegnon running outside him, and it was the better option. Oh, that was a chance.
That was a very good opportunity.
And Son gives away a free kick in frustration. Matty, do you think he should have passed that to Sessegnon?
I mean, it's Son, so I wouldn't give out to him for trying to take the shot on himself. Because, I mean, if he gets that shot off, he scores. I think he just needs a shout to say there's a man on behind him. Yeah. In hindsight, he probably should have paid the pass, but I think if he knew that... Is that Van de Beek?
No, you just got it. No, you just
if he knew he was there, he passes it.
You just got to play Sass there. You just got to play him.
Greedy. He's in for a free shot. You got to play him. He's not even aware anyone's getting back, and then he's throwing his arms up.
From Son's point of view, there, the defender in front of him is showing him onto his right foot.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he doesn't know what's behind him, he's shown onto his right foot, edge of the box. Yeah. He's Heung-min Son.
Good point.
You know, I don't think you can blame him for that. I think the communication around him needs to be better.
Maybe I think the only thing you can criticize him there for is Son thinks that he has more time than he probably really does. In that sort of scenario, and then maybe that's what it is. Matty's like, yeah, you can't blame him for not seeing that guy behind him, but maybe you also could say, it's not like you have that much time.
It's the Premier League. It's not Sunday League. He's got to expect people are chasing back to get after him.
Yeah, I think that's.
We're playing Everton. It's pretty much Sunday League.
It's Spurs Everton. It is Sunday League. Oh. It's Monday League, Matt. It's Monday League.
Everton just passing it around the back, looking to build up again. Tottenham not really pressing them. They've gone for a long ball in over Sessegnon's head to Gordon. It's a good first touch. He's away. It's a good ball into the box, and it's overhit. It's gone out to the far side. Van de Beek. Kenny. Good ball. Great clearance. Well done. Who blocked that?
Decky. Is that what we call him now?
Big up Decky. What a legend. And Everton just rebuilding again because Tottenham ballooned it long. Harry Kane putting pressure on T-Rex. He's gone long. Well, one Doherty. Couldn't pick up the seconds. Bentancur, well done. Bentancur and Højbjerg just cleaning it up there like contracted cleaners. Absolutely love it. Davies to Sessegnon. Plays it to Sessegnon gets out of a tight space. Lovely. It's gone all the way back to Dyer. Eric Van Dyer. He's gone out to Romero. Romero seems a bit more disciplined today. Doesn't seem to be going up to the strikers like he was against Leeds and against Middlesbrough. Out to Bentancur. See that? That's how a tempo setter comes and shows for the football.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
play that down.
Davies! It's a good ball in behind.
First time.
Sessegnon!
Come on!
Harry Kane! Yes. Oh, come on! Oh, he's giving a little jog over to Sessegnon. You got to love that. What a quality ball.
Come on, Harry!
Now makes it 13 in 15 in all competitions versus Everton. Come on, Harry. What a ball. What build-up play. Jack, just as I was saying it, Harry Winks, you wouldn't see Harry Winks do what Bentancur done. Drops into acres of space. He already knows exactly where he's going with it. Look at that, screaming for it. Give me that ball. The question is Sessegnon onside? Oh, he's well on. It's Ben Davies. Ben Davies in behind to Sessegnon. And Sessegnon with a great ball across. And Harry Kane comes in like a hurricane right at the near post. Gets his cleats right onto that. And he buries it past T-Rex arms. Short arms couldn't get anywhere near it. No, it's an own goal. It's an own goal. What a finish from Mike
Keane. What's the difference?
That's two mistakes. It's one against City, one against Tottenham. 1-0 Tottenham. Come on.
My favourite thing about that goal is you're absolutely spot on that Bentancur is dropping back into that space to pick up possession. Yeah. But that ball he plays into Ben Davies, it's not to feet. He's played that 2-3 yards in front of Davies. So whether Davies wants it or not, he's moving forward with that football and he's only looking ahead. I think even that little bit of a change of what we would see from Winks and what we're seeing from Bentancur, I think is really, really important. But that's made by Bentancur. Brilliant ball in by Sessegnon.
Unbelievable.
And Kane forcing that error from Keane.
And that's what Bentancur offers on his return. You're absolutely spot on, Matt. He's almost forcing the run of Ben Davies. Whereas if that was Winks, you'd have to stand there and look at him for 10 minutes, then pass it to him 5 yards, run right up to him, then pass it to him. It's ridiculous. And Bentancur has gone and won another free kick in the Everton half. But Jack, what do you make of that goal for Tottenham?
Here's what I make of that goal, Dave. Super chat in here from Tottenham Tantrum Gold saying he's one of our own. He's one of our
Oh,
own. Harry Kane. He's one of our own. He says, love the new setup, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Woo! Big up Tottenham Tantrum Gold. Absolute legend, Dave. That's what I have to say about that goal. I would probably say it looked like Harry Kane was going to finish that. It's just, he just felt like, maybe Michael Keane just needed to add maybe to the stats, a bit this season. So, fair play to him, Dave. Fair play.
No, but big up Dermot and big up everybody out there. We have 130 watching us right now, which is actually very good for our watch-alongs. Guys, make sure everybody smashes that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We are 1-0 up. And guys, hopefully everyone is enjoying the timer, the scoreboard. Let me know how good it looks. I'm absolutely chuffed with it. And by the way, a massive shout out to Nick, who has made all of this possible, by the way, which, hopefully we won't be getting any more comments. Get a score clock, get a timer, Hopefully that already gets all that now.
It's 2-0.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
Are you not watching this? It's 2-0.
What? Sonny!
Sonny just scored. Come on!
Sonny! He's answered everybody.
Come on.
That is now 12 goals he's been or 11 goals he's been involved in now.
2-0 we're looking for. Sonny and Harry Kane. Give me that prediction. Come on, Moondog.
Chance of Easy can be heard ringing out. We want toffees can also be heard ringing out. Come on. What a goal. It's out to Romero.
None of us watched
the boys. Oh,
Romero
Harry.
Into Big H.
Harry,
Big H with the ball into Kulu. Kulu, what a ball! What a touch.
Assist.
What football. Look at this again. Romero to Harry Kane. Great turn. Harry Kane into Kulu. Kulu just slides it in for Sonny. Oh, T-Rex could have done better than that.
Please,
on his 28th birthday.
Next summer.
Honestly, I think Pickford must have had a few beers already. 28th birthday, 200 Premier League.
Can we not get Pickford, please? No
Sonny has shown you. Sonny has shown you that Sonny and an own goal. Tottenham 2 goals to the good. And we are absolutely smashing them up. Jack, get them toffees out the press, man. It's party time.
No, it's party time, Dave. Get the wine, get the champagne flutes out, Dave. I mean, 2-0. I said Son and Harry Kane, 2-0. It looks like it could be potentially more than that. All I can say is, guys, there were those rumors, and I know, Matt can back this up. There were some rumors that we've been looking after English keepers, Matty, for, the upcoming summer. And, I would say after that, Howler, and I will say Howler. I don't want Pickford. I'll tell you that.
I don't think any of us do.
Oh, he's shocking. He's absolutely shocking. It's his birthday today. He's got the gel in his hair. I bet you he feels so good. Well, he won't now.
Is it his birthday today?
Yeah.
Is it his birthday? Yeah, he definitely was celebrating probably a bit too much last night then, Dave. Pre-celebrating a birthday. Shame on Pickford.
It's his 28th birthday today, and he's making his 200 Premier League appearance, and that's how Tottenham mark the occasion. You got to love it. You got to absolutely love it. But is Everton on the attack here? Oh, that was a sneaky ball in behind. Well dealt with by Ben Davies. Everton, they've gone out wide. It's out to Seamus Coleman. Coleman, he's gone back inside to Allen. Allen, he switches play. It's gone over to Michael Keane, the goal scorer for Tottenham. What a man, what a hero. Oh, he tries to think she's Ronaldinho. He does play through, though. It's gone out wide. Doherty closing down nice and early. That's what we like to see, making them recycle it back across. Van de Beek with the ball in behind to Decore. Good touch. One year's clear it. Well done, Ben. Well done, Benji. Oh, my heart was in my mouth there. Oh, what a start to this game. What a start to this game. 20 minutes, not even 19 minutes in, 2-0 up. Come on, I'd take that any day.
The best thing about this is we've only had 2 chances. We've only strung together 2 moves, and both of them have ended up in goals. We've Michael Keane and Jordan Pickford to thank for that, but it's that, being clinical that we've been lacking so much this season and in recent seasons. It's important that we took those 2 chances.
Yeah, and look, I reckon social media will probably be a quiet place tonight, rather than getting blamed for us losing. When we win, I'm pretty sure them same people will be out hiding tonight.
Agreed.
Oh, Sonny.
Pierre.
Oh, Big H. Oh, my God, Big H. You are fooling them. What footwork. Gives away the ball, though. Don't foul him. Don't foul him. Oh, he's just put his fingers in his mouth. What's wrong with the Corey? Jesus Christ. It's a football game. It's not American football. I know we have Jack on, but it's not American football. It's ridiculous.
I wouldn't be here if it was American football. Sorry, Jack.
Everybody's saying the Matt Hayes effect for this one, Matty.
It is. It's the look of the Irish, lad.
It's all me. I'll take full credit for this. I was only talking about it today. Spurs have never lost games that I've been at. We've won 7 and drawn 2.
I wish. Do you know what?
You have the Ollie skip, ratio. You got the Ollie skip win ratio.
I've been asked to get a season ticket.
I had that luck until I went over for the Wolves disaster, lad. So, are you going to any games this year, Matty?
Probably not this season, no. Well, I'll definitely be getting over next season, though. Yeah. 100%. I need to get to that beautiful, exquisite Coliseum.
Oh, Matty, it's so good, lad. It is so good. What a stadium it is. It's unbelievable.
I've been outside it many times. Yeah.
Bentancur with another good ball out to Ben Davies. Can we spring another attack here? It's Ben Davies. He's slowing it down. He's coming back inside. He takes the hit. It's gone to Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer with a lovely switch of play. Look at that. Honestly, as straight as an arrow. Unlucky. Well cut out there by Kenny.
Tottenham I love that stat.
Everton's half.
We've had one shot and we're winning 2-0.
Oh, we're class, lad. Only Tottenham can do that. It's out to Dyer. Dyer, what can he do with it? It's gone out to Davies. Come on, Davies. You're the springboard here today. Let's go. Good ball into Sonny. Sonny takes it. He's gone backwards to Dyer. Davies telling him to go all the way back to Hugo Romero. He's definitely not going backwards. Look at that. 10 touches. He's unbelievable. So cool and calm. It's into Doherty. Oh, ref, that's a free kick. That's a free kick, ref. Or to Højbjerg, was it? Don't touch my Pierre.
Yeah, what a fucking monster.
Don't touch Pirlo. Leave Pirlo alone. It's gone into Eric.
Pirlo.
Yeah, Pirlo, Emile, Høj Busquets. Oh, it's gone out wide. It's gone out wide to Doherty. Come on, Doherty, get the head up. He's got the freshest trim in the business. Oh, look at that. He's got the freshest boots as well. He's gone to Harry Kane. Oh, T-Rex. His gloves anyway. They're not slippy, that's for sure. We firm grip in that one. Everton looking to break here quickly. It's gone to Coleman. No, they've gone backwards. Losing momentum. What a start. What a start. Jack, I can't take this up and down stuff anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving today. But, we can't keep going, like, losing to these crap teams and then coming out and putting in the manner of performance and stuff that we have been doing. Can't keep taking this consistency, lad. This inconsistency, sorry. I pray for consistency every night. I like Candle and everything.
I think Jack might have left us.
Jack left?
And his camera's off.
Oh, Jack has left.
I hope we score while he's gone. And then when he comes back again.
Look at that hair. Look at that luscious hair. Look at the wind just floating in that, Matty. It's unbelievable. Big up H. And it's out to what we got. It's to Matt Doherty into Bentancur. Bentancur to Højbjerg, out to Davies. Ben Davies with a ball out to Session. Session comes back. Oh, he's lost the ball. Come on, Session. That's too easy. Oh, he's gone to rugby tackle him. We still can't bring him down. And Sonny grabs out of Gordon. And that is an Everton free kick. That is poor there from Session. A bit of a mixed start from him today, Matty. Giving away the ball a couple of times, but then has the assist for the own goal.
Yeah. Look, he's probably epitomises this Tottenham team better than any other player with the up and down performances. But I think it's, like we said at the top, a very big call from Antonio Conte to give him that place in the team over Sergio Reguilon. And look, I mean, there could be more behind the scenes with Reguilon. He had COVID recently. He could be, maybe suffering some longer term effects from that. But Sessegnon starting a lot of games, and it can only be good for him. I think we all eyed him as a player that could potentially really improve under an Antonio Conte system. And with this game time he's getting, he's probably starting more games in the last couple of weeks than he had in the last couple of years at Tottenham in the Premier League. But game time can only be a good thing. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him on that pitch.
I mean, Dave, he's having a bit of a mixed start, but, credit to him as well for also putting off, pulling off his best, Davinson Sanchez impression, because I would say, that was, pretty accurate, to be fair to him as well. But Dark Sun G in here, Dave, saying it feels so calm with Bentancur in the middle, Winks out. Matty, do you feel like Bentancur, do you see that? Are we getting ahead of ourselves maybe already? But do you feel like with Bentancur already in the middle, do you feel a sense of calm? Do you see a sense of calm out there on the pitch, or are we maybe already getting a bit ahead of ourselves?
No, we're not getting ahead of ourselves. He's the best midfielder in the world, and no, he's not that good. But I think what Bentancur offers that Harry Winks doesn't, and I think this was really, really spoken about last season, especially with Winks and Ndombele in the middle of the park. And it's when our defense is on the ball, Winks and Ndombele hide. Or last season, a lot of times they hid. There was a game at Burnley where I think it was very evident where they'd stand behind the man that was pressing, so they simply weren't an option to pick up possession, which for me just screams an insecurity in their own footballing ability. If they were under a bit of press, that they themselves couldn't deal with that. But as we saw with that first goal, Bentancur at every moment is getting into space, trying to find somewhere where he can pick up that ball. But even once he gets on that football, he adds that added composure, and that he's so calm in possession, and he has so much trust in his own abilities that when there's someone pressing him, he has more time than what Winksor and Dombele would, because they need to get that ball away, so they're not under the press. But Bentancur is happy to wait till someone's on top of him to let that ball go, and it just makes that game just a little bit longer for him. And then, of course, the ability, I mean, stands out above Harry Winks for definite. I think Ndombele is probably more technically gifted than Bentancur, but Ndombele just couldn't play football in the Premier League. But we saw in that defeat to Middlesbrough, especially, and when he went off the pitch against Burnley, that even though he's only been at the club 5 weeks at this point, he's extremely important to what we're trying to do. And I love him.
No, he is. He's absolutely crucial.
Quickly, anybody just see that moment where Højbjerg was, getting a bit, assaulted, by the midfield, and he didn't fall over like we've seen Winks, do time and time again in those situations. Didn't get bullied, Dave. In fact, even showed that Everton player a bit of the Antonio Conte weight room. I don't know, like Dave, that was just a beautiful example there. He just was getting absolutely tortured by that midfield of Everton, and then still was able to keep the ball in that area.
I look, the thing is, over recent weeks, or for a while now, people have been questioning, is Højbjerg's the problem? Winks is he better than Winks? This, that, and the other. At the end of the day, look, Højbjerg has proven, you put him in beside Bentancur, there's a presence there, but Bentancur also brings a presence. With Harry Winks, you're one man down in midfield. Teams will attack his side of the pitch all the time. Whereas it doesn't happen when you have Højbjerg and Bentancur in. And by the way, we're on the
give it.
It's another great Sonny for three. Come on,
no,
Kane.
No,
Sonny. I was nearly 3-0. What a ball to release Sonny. What a run as well. The run demanded the ball. He held his run. Let's see this again. Who plays that?
Doherty.
What a ball outside the foot to Sonny. Sonny, I think he tried to go between
to get it off the ground.
His legs, between Pickford's legs. Pickford was well wise to that for sure. The rebound falls to Harry Kane. And he's put it wide.
Chance.
That is unlucky.
It's difficult to wrap his foot around that, to be fair.
Yeah. But back to what we're talking about in midfield. Like, we have a presence in midfield. We're not getting overrun here in midfield today. Because they better not even try it, because Højbjerg and Bentancur, they're not going to get much joy out of it. But when you have Harry Winks in, teams know. Start on Højbjerg's side, suck him in, pass it around him, and you're in. Midfield is completely taken out, So it's good to see Bentancur back. At least we have a presence now in midfield.
I think another thing with Bentancur that I don't think people have spoken about a lot is he's so happy to kind of step up out of the midfield to press the what a challenge that is by Doherty. To press the defenders, or if they have a midfielder dropping deep to pick up the ball, he's happy to jump up and press them. Oh, he's so good. But I think that draws Højbjerg with him.
Sure.
It's like if Bentancur goes pressing on one side, the ball is played to the other side. As Bentancur is dropping back in, Højbjerg then naturally goes and presses them as well.
Yeah.
So it's that effect that he has on the players around him too is so important.
We've seen it against City. Right? At times Højbjerg was pressing, and then Bentancur would go with him. But then at times when Højbjerg was sitting in, Bentancur went, and then it sprung Højbjerg into action. You're absolutely spot on there, Matty, because I remember I was talking about that during the City game. How good they are for each other, encouraging each other. And, once one goes, the other's like, well, if he's going to do it, I better do it, It's good. It's what we need. And it's,
I don't know what the ref's on there for giving them a book in there. I don't know what the ref's on there. I mean, Romero should be allowed at least one or two of those a game before the referee even, considers. But Dave, Kyle Patrick Vineyard saying, Dave, check your DMs on Twitter.
I will do, my man. I will do after the game, my man. All right. Big up, Kyle.
Some Arsenal fans said Ben White is better than Christian Romero. How stupid do you have to be to think Ben White is better than Christian Romero? He was turned by Musa Sissoko last night.
I feel like that's actually, do you know what's actually shocking about that, Matty? Because I feel like Spurs fans were quite kind, or not even kind, like Spurs fans were quite honest about, Tomiyasu versus Emerson. So it feels like they should show the decency of Ben White versus Romero. That would be my logic. Is like they should then show that decency, because that's absurd. That's absurd.
I think with that as well, we kind of
I
accepted.
mean, Romero doesn't need a babysitter. Romero doesn't need 2 babysitters and Gabriel and Tomiyasu on the team. He doesn't need babysitters around him. That's just pathetic.
It's gone out to Ben Davies. Ben Davies, come on, let's build up. He's gone back inside to Dyer. Dyer's on the ball. Don't start this walking stuff. He's gone out side to Romero. Romero's it's a throw into Tottenham. See what happens when Dyer starts doing his walking stuff. You know, it just invites them to press. Fat Frank looking dejected. Enjoy the championship again, my man. Enjoy it. Romero. He's gone into Hugo Lloris. What skills can he do? He's being pressed. He's passed it to Ben Davies.
There you go, boys. Spread the pitch.
That was unselfish.
Oh, not there.
How much time do you think you have, buddy?
Everton win it back.
Well done, Harry.
Back there. What a legend. He does everything now.
Don't do that.
It's all right. Cool, calm, and collected. Look at that. Only Harry can do that. Look at that.
This is how I play FIFA. Dave knows this is how I play FIFA, so I pass it around the back, here. Well done, Harry. I love to see it.
I wasn't even worried. Because he can handle it.
Oh, get stuck there.
Come on, Moon Boots. Hold him up. Well done.
Yeah, Starty. Come on.
And it's
you know what? I think we can honestly say Doherty is the best Irish right back on this football pitch.
He's looking like it today. What pass by Højbjerg? What play out? And it's a switch of play from Matt Doherty. Unlucky. Good effort.
Coleman wins that, but it's a good touch by Gordon.
Gets away from 2 players. It's gone out wide. They're in behind here.
Watch Coleman score now, just because I said that.
Man with a ball into the box. Well dealt with.
But
Bentancur.
He's getting assaulted.
Look at that. He just runs it. Look at that.
Go on, keep going. Keep going.
Run.
One against Burnley.
Sir. Lovely.
Sonny.
Sir.
Pass. Ref. Yeah, that's a free kick. We'll take that. What play by Bentancur. Being pressed in the box by Decore and just runs with it. Like that. Honestly, I'm getting visions of Moussa Dembele. I really am. When you see a player doing that, you get visions of Moussa.
I miss Moussa.
Oh, Rodrigo Bentancur. Come on. Oh, it's too easy. I'm loving life today. I'm loving it. I knew Monday would be a good day. Tell me why. David loves Mondays. Tell me why. David loves Mondays. Come on, Ben. To Bentancur. To Dyer. Back to Bentancur. Look at that. Instructing people where to go, and he doesn't even have the ball. To Ben Davies. Ben Davies into Session. Session could ball into Big H.
Oh, that's incredible.
Nice,
kept it in.
Put it in. What a touch. Go on,
Sonny.
It's 4-on-2.
Keep going, Sess. Keep going. Give it right.
Get your head up. Give it. Go on, Darby.
Bang.
Yes, Cafu.
Bang.
Yes, Cafu. Oh.
That's a good save by Pickford. He stood up well to that one.
Oh, he took too long. He had to bang it first time. He took way too much out of it. You got to be
Sonny's done
confident
really well to
that.
get that in.
What play by Sonny? Second time of asking, gets that ball across there. You got to bang it. Oh, unlucky.
Sure, he's done really well to work that space for himself. I think he does miss the opportunity first time.
Yeah.
But he's John Joe Kenny falling, breaking his own ankles, and he gets Pickford in the face. That's better than a goal, to be honest.
Happy birthday. Eat that one. There's your cake. Pie in the face. God, get a good ball in the box here.
I love it.
We're doing something
It's a
special.
short one. I love it.
What a routine.
That is well worked. What
special.
ball in by Sonny. Big H with the flick, and it's gone out for a corner kick, surely. That's straight from the training ground, that one. What have they been doing for 6 days, people ask? Well, there you are. Look at that.
Winning another corner.
Oh, that was so close.
That's a good save again by Pickford. And
Bentancur and Sonny heavily involved. Oh, Bentancur, honestly, it's so good watching him. He's just so cool. Honestly, any young man, any kid out there watching, you want to be like Rodrigo. You want to be like Lolo.
Some fans tried to tell us he was a Juventus bench warmer. Juventus reject. Nah.
Yeah, look, see, if you want to suit a certain narrative.
True.
Oh, looking for a penalty here, surely. What's the hold up?
I don't have a ball. I admire the optimism.
No, God loves a trier, lads. What's going on here? Come on. Sonny with the corner kick. That's good delivery. Let's beat the first man.
And no GLC free kicks.
It's good ball in.
Just the moment you mentioned Gio Lo Celso, the ghost of Gio Lo Celso comes through on the corner kick.
It's a good switch of play. Out to Session. Open up your feet. Get out wide. Good option. Pierre Brick House is there.
Pierre.
Oh, look at that. He is saucy.
Pierre.
Pierre. Back to Session. Højbjerg's been brilliant today as well. Just keeping play, ticking over, lovely. Bentancur back there looking for the ball yet again to start the attack. Look at that.
He's everywhere.
Dyer to Højbjerg. Højbjerg taking the leaf out. Bentancur's book. Spurs going back to Hugo, just inviting Everton to come out a little bit more to create that space. Wait for it. Where's the long ping? Oh, that's good. Where's the ping?
That wasn't for you, Højbjerg.
Everybody's getting too confident now. Hugo Lloris, long ping up to Big H. Oh, look at that. He just holds him up all day long.
Yes, Kulu.
Kulu.
Show him the strength. Oh, what a pass.
What a ball. He's off.
No, left back gets him on. Is it in? Come on! Yes!
3-0!
Left back gets him on.
He's one of our own. Harry Kane. He's one of our own. Come on. Honestly, get the toffees out. In fact, let's go for an afternoon tea and eat some toffee cake. Even better. You got to love it. The Tin Pot Club are losing 3-0 to the greatest team on planet Earth, Tottenham Hotspur. The worst travelers in the Premier League. Look at Kulu. Show him the weight room. What a ball. He's way on. He is way on. Matt Doherty. What a ball. What a ball.
Doherty, 2 assists in 2 games. What a finish. Checking offside.
What are you looking for? He's way on.
There's 2 players keeping him on.
He's way on. You're the guy's halfway back. You're the guy's mowing the lawn.
It's another player. Yeah, it's another player.
He's mowing the lawn. Look at him. He's in the world of his own.
Yes.
Come on, Harry. He's yards off. Come on, Harry.
He's over there having a cup of tea, that guy. I don't know what he's doing. Come on.
Conte wants more. He wants more.
I'm going to the Jacks. I'll be back in 1 second. Come on.
I hope you miss a goal.
Oh, that's absolutely glorious. Matty, 3-0. Let's say it stays this way by halftime. I mean, what do you do then? Do you maybe consider, some changes? Do you consider
nothing?
I mean, you change nothing, just go for the all-out demolition, Southampton,
yeah.
Leicester City style 9-0. Is that what we're going for then?
I don't think we'll go that far. I don't think we can be as good in the second half or as clinical as we have been in the first half. But, we need consistency. I think once we hit our stride, it would be hypocritical of Conte to start changing things.
Yeah.
And I know resting players ahead of United on Saturday would be ideal. But the situation Tottenham are in right now is far from ideal. And I think we need to keep that momentum going, keep us in our stride, maybe get a couple more goals, build that confidence. I mean, Everton certainly aren't the team that they have been in recent years. We are ultimately playing a team who, could be in the relegation zone very, very soon. So
yeah,
keep the momentum going, get a couple more goals, and it could come down to goal difference at the end of the season, whether it's top 4 or top 6 we're fighting for. It could be the all-important difference.
Yeah, it could be. And on Doherty, do you feel like he's made these runs, these inverted sort of runs, and then he's played some people through? He played Harry Kane at one stage through, with the goal. I think he played Sonny at one stage through with it as well. Sonny probably should have buried it. I mean, what do you make of, Doherty so far? What is he doing that maybe we haven't seen before, from him? Because I feel like he is showing right now, Matty, why he is probably the better right wing back than Emerson, because he offers so much more going forward. But why is it that all of a sudden in the past 3 games, do you think he's, really showing maybe what he's made of? Because this,
I know it's the
easy
answer.
To interrupt, I would say finally we're seeing on a consistent display. I thought against Burrow, I thought he actually wasn't that bad. I didn't think he was anywhere close to one of the worst players. Against Leeds, we saw him, play exceptional, and then now here, it's the 3rd game in a row now for Doherty, which we've never seen before. Sorry.
I think the easy answer is the right answer, and it's Antonio Conte, because those inverted runs that you've mentioned, we're seeing that from Sessegnon on the other side as well. Where that goal came from, he was running inside the right back, between the right back and the centre back, and he's made a few runs kind of further inside as well. And I think it's a Conte tactic. I can't remember it being one that he's used before, but with the way the 2 wing backs are doing it now, I think it's definitely coming from Conte. And what allows us to do that is having 2 wide centre-backs who are comfortable in possession. And we saw that with the goal as well. Ben Davies, I know with that history as a left-back, he's much more comfortable stepping up into those further advanced areas to play that ball there and to allow that space to be created further forward for Ryan Sessegnon. On the other side, it's Christian Romero, who was our best ball-playing centre-back, where, you know, he allows us to have a bit more creativity and a bit more fluidity, I suppose, in the wing-backs. And I think we all agreed that even though Doherty hadn't been given a good account of himself in the Tottenham jersey, we all did agree that it was largely down to the system that he was playing, and there was no point in bringing in one of the best right wing backs in the Premier League and then playing him in a much more defensive right back position. And now that he's getting that freedom, he's starting to show that ability. I'll be honest, I still don't think he's a good option for next season. You know, I wouldn't want to see him in that team next season, but he's improving a lot now, and he's proven to be a very good player for us because our right wing back signing in the summer didn't quite work out. He's able to step that level up.
Yeah,
step up
we need one of them to step up. I mean, at least one of them, you know, at least for the rest of the season. I'm kind of with you. I feel like both of them probably not good enough for next season, but we just need one of them to step up for the rest of this season. And then a lot of people are saying Doherty's twin brother is coming up or is showing up tonight, Matt. If Doherty's twin brother were to a bit of a tongue twister, and that's
you got there in the end.
Twin brother, if he were to show up next season, you know, would you want to keep him around, or would you still get rid of the twin brother?
Well, look, I mean, if he's good enough for Conte, he's good enough for me, and I think we all agreed after January that we'd massively regret not filling that right wing back position, whether it was with the Adama Traore or with a Wilfred Singo or whatever player we were looking at.
Yeah,
I think we all agreed that was the priority. If Doherty has a good 3 months, I don't think it's as much of a priority, and we can start to fill other gaps in that team before we move into that position. But ultimately, regardless of how good Doherty is for the rest of the season, again, within reason, I think that's still a position we have to strengthen over the summer.
What I will say is, if Killian's watching, Killian will be absolutely loving life lately. You know, he's been a big backer of Doherty, even through when he wasn't playing well, and he's backed him all the way. You know, in the last couple of games, he's definitely got his reward. So I'd say Killian out there is delighted. Everybody, make sure you smash that like button as well. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. And guys, feel free to get your super chats in between now and half time with your questions, your thoughts, your opinions, whatever it may be. Don't worry, we know not everybody's in a position to do it. At least keep getting your comments in the chat, guys. But super chat just helps you skip the queue. And it is Everton building up here from the back again. James Coleman on the ball. It's gone in to, I don't know who that is. Who's that guy? Is that Alan?
Alan, yeah.
Alan, good switch of play.
Steve, Alan.
Gordon on the ball. He's a good player, this kid.
Sessegnon clattering him again. I think we look happy just to sit on this 3-0 lead till halftime.
Yeah, I don't blame him. You don't want to give them any goal. It's a good ball in behind Romero.
See, that's the fear with this team, and that's
you give them a goal before halftime, it changes the game, you know.
Yeah, and when we sit back and we invite that pressure, 9 times out of 10 we buckle underneath it, which is, you know, if when you're a team who's fighting for top 4 or hoping to fight for top 4, you need to be able to hold on to 1-goal leads. Thankfully, of course, we have a 3-goal cushion now, but I think if this was 1-0, we'd be absolutely terrified by this Everton. They're realistically their first, you know, phase of sustained possession in our defensive third.
Yeah. Look, we have to keep it tight. We can't afford to give away that sloppy goal before halftime. It changes Lampard's team talk. It changes the Everton mentality going in at halftime. It changes our mentality. Again, it's another ball in behind for Sessegnon. He slips and takes out Gordon in the process. How that's not a free kick? I do not know. He's gone long to Harry Kane.
Oh, sir, he's getting assaulted here.
Honestly, give him a saddle. He's absolutely riding him.
Oh, what a
switch of play. Look at that.
That from Sessegnon is one of the most blatant fouls I've ever seen on a Premier League football pitch.
I do not know. Harry Kane.
Kane.
Oh, he slips.
Oh, what a touch from
Bentancur. What a touch. Just cool and calm and collected to Romero. Romero out to Højbjerg into Kane. Kane to Doherty. Doherty to Kuhn. Back to Kane. Doherty does he win it back?
Get stuck, Pierre.
Oh, who does that?
Pierre
wins it back. I know who wins it back. It's Pierre all day long, and that is a free kick. Honestly, If you want to hug him, just ask him. You don't need to drag him to the ground for one. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I think Ali and I are jealous of what Van de Beek got to do with Pierre there. But I mean, jealous. I mean, Dave. I mean, look at him showing him the weight room though as well. Pierre is. I mean, that's just beautiful to see. What an animal! What an animal, Pierre.
Of course it is. Of course it's him that's in there battling for the ball.
Showing Van de Beek the weight room there. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's into Højbjerg. Højbjerg switches the play. What a ball. What a ball out to Sessegnon. What control. Sessegnon to Sonny. Oh, he's lost it. Anthony Gordon on the attack here. He goes for one in behind Moon Boots. Moon Boots clear. Well done. Tracked by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's gone all the way back to Hugo Lloris. Go long. Into Romero. Romero not in any rush at all. It looks like he's inviting the contact. He's missing it. It's gone to Bentancur. Bentancur to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, another good ball into Sonny. Sonny on your bike. It's out to Sessegnon. Sessegnon's on the ball. He's slowing it down. He's gone back inside to Davies. Davies to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Bentancur. Bentancur out to Romero. Switching it out to the right-hand side. Romero a ball over the top. Oh, it's calamity from Everton defender. One kicks it off the other one's face, but falls to an Everton player. And Sessegnon is also down. Yeah, Sessegnon is also down here on the left-hand side. Oh, Keane, eat that one. That one looks sore. What's wrong with Sessegnon? No one cares about him. No one cares. Just go to Sessegnon. That's all we care about. Jesus.
Dark Sun G saying Winks is benched. We dominate. Everton 0 shots. Lol. Dave, I mean, the only other game, if I'm not mistaken, that we've seen kind of recently where Højbjerg and Bentancur played together is this match and the Man City match. So 2 very dominant performances, unless there were some others that I'm missing out on, Dave. I think the rest of them were Winks and Højbjerg. I mean, is this another kind of damning sort of statement about what this team can achieve maybe without, I guess, Winks in the lineup? And I know, Dave, that this sings to the choir of the Harris Army and the Irish Hotspur family, but I don't know, Dave, like, it's quite damning when you kind of think about it. The fact that the Man City performance and this performance, 2 unbelievable displays from the boys, and both times are with Højbjerg and Bentancur.
Yeah, Jack, honestly, you're conducting the Irish Hotspur Orchestra right now, coming out with filth like that. But you got to love it. It's true. Look, don't forget, we also had Bentancur with Harry Weeks against Wolves, you know, which I shouldn't have had to have watched that, but I did when I was over there. So, look, the weak link is Harry Weeks in midfield. I mean, look, if it wasn't clear before, I would have said, honestly, you need to get your eyes tested. But if it's not clear now, then you're just blind. I'm sorry, but you are. You know, the guy, when he plays in midfield, he's a weak link. We get overrun. They haven't come to our middle once today. Not once. Why? Because when they do, they're met with a brick wall. There's a bit of fighting going on here at the end. Who is it?
Højbjerg.
Of course it's Højbjerg.
Come on, Højbjerg.
Just get it alive. That's it, Højbjerg.
Speaking to the ref about it as well.
Yes, sir. Now Seamus Coleman is trying to get at him. That's it, Davinson Sanchez. Send him away. Can't help it. There could be honestly, I wouldn't surprise to see Romero running down the tunnel now. Look at him. Look at Romero getting ahead of everyone. Look, he loves it. He loves it. Look at him. There's going to be definitely going to be stuff down this tunnel.
First in line.
First in line. Exactly. I love it. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. But I mean, it's not a coincidence, Dark Sun G. It's not a coincidence, my man. Al Ben in here is saying, why wouldn't they just play a low block? Gave us no respect, and it backfired. Naive to not to see that you play to our strength when you open the game up. Maddie, we were talking about this earlier in the pre-match build-up, and Sean was kind of saying that, you know, this sort of Lampard team will actually try to take the game to you more than Benitez's would. Do you think if this were still Benitez, would this perhaps not be 3-0 maybe by halftime if it were Benitez? No matter, let's say, how bad Everton still play, I feel like, you know, it wouldn't be 3-0 if it were maybe Benitez still in charge. Maybe this is just Lampard opening up a bit too much.
I think you could put Sir Alex Ferguson in charge of this Everton team and they still wouldn't win a game of football. Honestly, they're absolutely atrocious. And look, we've been incredible. We've played really well. You know, we've taken the chances that have been given to us. We've we passed the ball around the midfield especially well. We've used the wide areas to really good effect. But what have Everton done? I mean, apart from that couple of minutes at the end of that half where they had sustained possession, I can't remember Calvert-Lewin touching the ball. I can't remember Richarlison touching the ball. Anthony Gordon has looked lively. He's looked good. He's been able to beat his man a few times. But ultimately, when he gets past a man, he gets past a second man. There's nowhere for him to go because there's no one showing for it. There's no one making a run or getting into that space. And I really think that Benitez has his try again. Benitez had his chance with this team earlier in the season, and he's now unemployed. There's a reason for that. Are we starting to maybe realize it is the players more than it is the managers? I don't know. But of course, you do have to take into consideration as well how pointless of a manager Frank Lampard is. But no, this Everton team has been really, really, really bad. And look, again, we played really well, but they gifted us those first 2 goals with the own goal from Keane and then a goal from Son, which, look, it's brilliant from Son. He was in the right position. He put the ball on target. It wasn't the greatest finish ever. And I think a keeper should save that. Any Premier League keeper should save that. So Everton have helped us out a lot. And whatever manager you put in that team, I really, really don't see. What
I think you're raising really good points, Matty. I'd like to think, though, just because I'm not a big Frank Lampard fan, considering how instantaneous the Thomas Tuchel sort of change was once he came into Chelsea, makes me kind of think that Lampard is perhaps a bit overrated, or is even taking jobs that are a bit above his pedigree, if you ask me, considering how little experience that I feel like he has. But I think you're right, though, Matty. Like, who really succeeds with this Everton team? Similar to how people have even said that with the Spurs squad, to a degree. But Al, Ben, I feel like maybe it is kind of obvious to play low block against Spurs, but I'm not going to stop any manager from not doing that, my man. I'm not. Adrian Chia says, "Big up, lads. Why can't we be this clinical against Borough?" Dave, why weren't we this clinical against Borough? Is it just that simple, where they played that low block against us, and we just really struggled to break it down?
Look, we didn't really struggle to break it down. I mean, Son had 3 chances. Doherty had 2. Session had a header that he put off the back of the defender's head. And there was a couple of other chances. Look, we had chances. We just didn't take them. But look, like I keep saying to people, Son and Kane, they are going to have an off day. People think Salah and Mane don't have an off day. You're sadly mistaken. Every top player has a game or has an off day. And it's up to others then to step up. Like, if City or Liverpool's front men aren't firing, you usually see a midfielder or you usually see a wing back or a centre back popping up with a goal or something like that. We don't have that at Tottenham. We just do not have it. So look, what I would say is I'll put it down to an off day. Look, the performance wasn't great either. It was shocking. But in terms of the clinical nature, I put that down to an off day. But look, we've come out here today, we're 3-0 up at half time, and life is good. And Killian, I'd say, is absolutely loving life with Doherty. Absolutely, he is. He's in the chat. He's loving it, so he is. Big up, Killian. Get the beers out, my man, and enjoy it. But
no, he has to be. And then DG saying, "Take off Son and Romero. Don't want a red card. Ben and Sanchez, good enough for half. Up 3-0 in my opinion. Or Bergwijn and Sanchez. Sorry, I have my mouse over that. Bergwijn and Sanchez, good enough for half. Up to 3-0 in my opinion. Doherty still playing well too. Big up, boys. Big up, DG. Absolute legend, the New York man. But Dave, I mean, do you make big changes? And also Maddie, same thing to you. Once I get to Dave first, do you make changes at halftime, or do you just stay, keep the lineup the same?
No, look, for me, I don't think you can make changes, Jack. I don't think you should make changes at halftime anyway. At least ride this out to 60, 65 minutes. Because all it takes is one goal for Everton, and it changes the momentum, changes the shift, it changes the mentality for both teams as well. So for me, you can't make them changes too early on, Jack. You got to you got to stick with this to 65, 70 minutes. Hopefully go out there, get another one, really put it beyond doubt. Then you can start making changes. But right now, look, we've seen it against West Ham under Jose Mourinho. It took us, 12 minutes to throw away a 3-0 lead? This team is capable of it. So, and I think Conte will be weary of that. So for me, you can't make the changes yet. You definitely can't. Look, maybe a bit later on in the game, you can get Lucas on there. You can get a Bergwijn on there. Maybe get a Reguilon or somebody else on there. I hate to say it, but maybe if you're 4-0 up, you could probably bring a Winks on. But you can't make changes yet at halftime. I get people want it because we've got United coming up, then we've got Burnley, West Ham. But we can't afford to make them changes just yet. It would ruin the game, in my opinion.
Maddie, to you, I mean, do you feel like changes are needed, at halftime, or are you kind of with Dave here, where you just kind of
Matt's not there.
Oh, I didn't know actually. I didn't. So I'm kind of away from the screen because I'm looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
comments, windows. I'm not even looking at you guys. So just gonna keep plowing on. Ale will say I kind of agree with Dave. Everybody, I kind of agree with Dave. But moving on to Joseph here saying no food, hence why Everton haven't ran through the midfield. I'm not sure what he means by that, Joseph. But he's saying, Dave, no food, hence why Everton haven't run through the midfield. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Winks is, he's saying Winks is the food? I'm not really sure what Joseph is trying to say here, if you can see by that super chat.
Look, with Harry Winks, he doesn't offer you anything defensively. He doesn't offer you nowhere near enough going forward. So he's just a passenger. He's just like a complete passenger. Um, Look, with Bentancur, you see what he offers. He offers it a bit of steel in there defensively, and he goes into positions to demand the football. So look, of course they're not going to run through the midfield when you have players like Højbjerg and Bentancur in there.
Yeah, he's saying food is, Winks, Dave. So basically, Winks is, the dinner, to Everton, and is the
Mm.
dinner to most oppositions. Do you feel like with Bentancur coming in, is that no longer the case?
No, it's not. Of course it's not. They're going to rethink going through in the middle because you have two players in there that can get about, two players that love winning the ball. And I hate to say it, but Højbjerg's passing has been good today. So two players that can pass the ball. So it's a risk for them going through the middle. That's why they're trying to get down Gordon's side most of the first half, and they just couldn't. Young has dealt with it well, along with others. But that easy option is no longer there because even if we do play Winks in midfield, we get pressed. But with Bentancur and Højbjerg, you're very hesitant to doing that because they'll just put it by you. They know that we can ping it past and play around it. So I mean, it's a huge plus having the boys back.
No, it is a huge plus having the boys back. And then Killian Gubbins in here, Dave saying, Doherty, I told you guys I love this channel. Dave, I mean, Killian, he's absolutely over the moon. He's probably, has thrown all the, couch cushions, around the house. He's celebrating, finally, seeing Doherty play 3 games in a row, really well. And Matt, I know I've maybe be asking you the same question twice here, but what do you make of the fact that Doherty has played now 3 games, you could say, in a row, quite well?
First of all, I want to say apologies for disappearing, but I had to tell my dad, who's a Liverpool fan, just how bad Everton are, and then I had to get some snacks because you have to have snacks when you're watching a good comedy.
Get the popcorn, absolutely.
Big one for flamed grilled steak hunky dories. That's on the menu today.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
But
hopefully, we put the midfield continually on flame throughout this.
Hopefully we do. Hopefully, yeah, Doherty. Look, I think it's him actually being more due to Emerson being just atrocious than it is Doherty being world class because he's not like. But like I said, once he can step up that level from what we would see with Emerson at right wing back, he's the perfect player to play in that team. And I think Conte is showing a little bit of trust in him. And maybe, as I was saying earlier on with that back three, maybe Conte is just trying to get a bit of consistency with those wing backs with Doherty on one side and Sessegnon on the other. I don't know. Have you seen Alistair Gold's tweet about Sessegnon?
No, I haven't. What was it?
He was saying Sessegnon was going down the tunnel and he looked absolutely gutted. And Reguilon had been getting ready to come on at the end of that first half. So he's saying he hopes it's not the hamstring again.
When he went down, Matty. Remember at the very end.
Yeah. He's Alistair Gold is saying he hopes it's not the hamstring again. But if it is, I think we could be in a bit of trouble.
That's really, I mean, yeah, people are saying Sess looks injured. I mean, I really hope it wasn't serious. I really hope it wasn't serious, but I don't know. With Sessegnon, you never know.
I'd say it's his hamstring again, I would say.
Yeah, I just don't know.
That's really bad news if it is.
It's a shame because the kid was doing well, he's picking up a run of steam. He was starting to really kind of get going. He had an assist here today, assist against Leeds, and he looked like he was starting to develop that bit of confidence, and it's a shame, it's another setback for the kid.
Yeah, it is a huge setback for the kid. Absolutely. Dark Sun G saying Kulu last 4 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. What an output. Both of you again, I'm going to ask, Dave, unfortunately we couldn't cover this in the pre-match build-up, with all the plethora of questions we had, but I feel like Spurs have continued to struggle to find that 3rd goal scorer. I think we'd be lying to ourselves to say that we don't need a 3rd goal scorer. I mean, some people have said, I think in the past, including myself, but I think I've learned this harshly, you need a third goal scorer. You can't get away with other people chopping up with 2 or 3, and things like that. You do need a third person to rely on to maybe get close to, let's say, 7 or 8 Premier League goals, at least. I would say at least. Do you feel like Kulusevski could actually be that guy?
I think he already is that guy, to be honest with you, Jack. Look, for me, I think he's come in. He's kind of shown exactly what. Look, I've always said with Lucas, he works hard, and I appreciate that. But we need that end product coming from that side, and Kulu has brought that. Kulu has a good footballing brain. He sees things. Whereas you look at Lucas Moura, he's just too quick. He's a bit of a headless chicken. He doesn't really think. Kulu does think, and for me, I think we've solved that problem now with Kulu over that side. I think if he was here over a longer period of time, he'd definitely have at least, I would say, 10 Premier League goals by now, and probably on 5 assists. The guy's a very good player. He holds up the ball well. He gets back. He defends well. So he gives all of that maybe Lucas Moura was giving you. He works hard. But not only that, in the forward areas, it's like everything slows down. He slows it down. He cuts in onto that favourite left foot of his, and he can either ping a pass or get a good shot off. And it's different to Lucas Moura, because with Lucas Moura, it's like, unless he's taking on a player, if you're looking at him to take that pass or that shot, you don't really know what you're going to get. But with Kulusevski, you just get that feeling that, yes, he's going to deliver this. It's not beyond his capabilities or his qualities. And we're seeing the benefit of him coming in, of how clinical we have been of recent weeks, of this guy coming in and adding that. Because, look, Gareth Bale added it last season, but he added it for towards the end of the season, if we're really being honest with ourselves. And you seen what we were doing back. You seen what we were doing to teams then when you have that threat. Because before it was very easy to press the left side of the pitch, Son, Kane, take away that, just put bodies between them and take away that partnership. But now you add Kulu to it, it stretches that whole back line, stretches that whole midfield, and it gives them a lot more of a problem. So for me, I think Kulu's been an excellent signing, and I don't think we need to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we've struggled with Bergwijn, Lucas, being reliable enough to be that third goal scorer. Perhaps, this time around, Kulusevski perhaps finally could be that guy. Ian Cook in here saying, I'm winning my bet with my dad at the minute, and he's celebrating 2 months as a member as well. Ian, I mean, I don't know what the bet was. I mean, maybe he was betting against Spurs, perhaps, winning this one. I'm not sure. But big up Ian Cook. And then Jason Fox saying, Spurs are winning and I'm drinking rum and Coke up the Caribbean side of Colombia. Life is very, very good. That sounds spectacular, Jason. That sounds spectacular.
It does. He's making me jealous.
Yeah, it's making me jealous. Kind of old soul kind of vibes, just making us very jealous over here. Gaguma in here with a super sticker, and it's the classic super sticker, Dave. And do you know the reason why I think she sent it in, Dave? Because it's her favorite one, and it's the one where she always says, Conte, who let the dogs out? Conte did.
I love it. But look, guys, big up Gaguma. I hope you're enjoying life. Sonny scoring, big hit scoring, Gaguma. I know you're definitely enjoying it. And it's probably similar time as Dark Sun G, probably about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. for you guys. Much respect to every worldwide Spurs fan that gets up at these ungodly hours to follow this team, especially through the ups and downs right now. Second half has kicked off, though. It's a long ball by Everton. It's well flicked down by Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Romero. He kicked the ball, but I think he tried to take Van de Beek with him. I love it.
I don't know if you saw there, but Reguilon is on for Sessignon.
Sorry, I forgot to say that, actually. Reguilon has come on for Sessignon. It is confirmed. But anybody that does want to sync back up with us for this game, guys, it is in the clock timer up above. So make sure you just check that out. And that is the minute we are on.
Oh, Reggie, getting stuck. Getting stuck, Sonny. Oh, Sonny.
Here we go.
Galloping.
Oh, this is going to be such a good half.
Galloping.
Oh, it's Kulu.
44 seconds he's on the football pitch.
You called for a wing back to score today. Come on. Reggie, what a start to the half. Kulusevski, what a ball. He just completely takes them out, slips it behind that defence. And look at Frank Lampard, he's crying. Cry more, you Chelsea scum. Come on. Reguilon delighted with himself. Look at him. He's like a baby at Christmas. Look at that smile. He's got nice chubby cheeks. Pickford still crying, still celebrating his birthday. Let's see this. Well won back by Reguilon, who started it, by the way. Son to Kane, back to Sonny. Sonny drives at that Everton defence, a bit like Sean was talking. They don't like it. Kulu with a lovely behind the ball, behind the defence pass, behind the runners. He knew exactly where he was putting that. He's seen Reguilon all day long. And look at that. He just empty net. He could not miss.
Oh my
and that
gosh.
is 4-0 Tottenham. What a move. Jack, how happy are we to see Reguilon score? We've been waiting.
We're so happy, Dave, because with Reguilon, Dave, I'm still kind of convinced, but when he's one-on-one with the keeper, Dave, to be honest with Reguilon, we're always a bit worried. It seems like he's a bit nervous whenever trying to put the ball in the back of the net. And to see it be that easy where it is an open goal for him, just to be able to slot it in, at least, Dave, that gives him a bit of confidence, that gives him a bit of belief, that gives him that, pride, to come back into the team as well. Also, what a substitution by Conte, Dave, because Reguilon, he starts off right away with doing what he was doing in the beginning of the season so well, Dave, because Reguilon, I mean, in the beginning of the season, I think for like the first 7 or 8 games, he led the entire team in interceptions by like a considerable margin. We saw him make that interception there, Dave, and then Bentancur absolutely saucing in the midfield there, and then shoving him over.
Sorry, Jack. But Bentancur, what is he? He's on steroids, this guy.
No, he's showing him the weight room there, Dave. I mean, it's just absolutely class. But Reguilon, I think, Dave, what a substitution by Conte. Absolutely delighted. In as well, Kulusevski, now what is it? 2 goals, 3 assists. Absurd, Dave. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. And Matty Kulusevski with another assist. We were just talking about him before the half.
Oh, incredible. What he adds in that position, I was only talking about this to someone today. Lucas offers a lot that Kulusevski never will, which is that sheer, raw, blistering pace in possession. I think out of possession, Kulusevski is quick, but I think in possession, he slows it down a little bit. That's not a criticism. It's just the way he plays. Lucas, I think, is also a little bit better in the air, but Kulusevski is so composed. And it's similar to what I was saying with Bentancur. He has that extra second in possession because he's confident in waiting that out and waiting for the pass to open up before he lets the ball go. And that assist there is a perfect example of it as well. 2 assists now in this game. But what I think is really important as well, we always talk about wing backs with Conte, but since Conte's come in, we've now seen Reguilon with his first 2 goals for Tottenham. We've seen Doherty with his first goal for Tottenham. Could have been a second for him today. We're seeing the revival of Sessegnon. We were talking about getting those goals all over the pitch. As much as Kulusevski is offering it now, I think we will start to see a growing impact at that end of the pitch from our wing backs.
Look, that's Doherty, that's Reguilon, and that's Sessegnon now. 3 of our wing backs that played today have all produced something today going forward. So maybe is it that we're starting to see Conte's full plan coming into effect now? Well, I certainly do hope so. But your eyes are not deceiving you. It is Tottenham 4, Everton 0. Absolutely loving life. So
and Adrian Chia in here saying Reggie, big up Adrian Chia, absolute legend. Open net, open goal.
I'd say Dark Son G is breaking up his room right now, Jack, as well. He was loving it. He said today that a wing back was going to score.
No, I mean, he always calls for the wingbacks to score because he wants to see the wingback score because, Dave, he knows the Conte system better than anybody, Dark Sun G. So he wants to see those fullbacks score. And he also just said here, Kulu just added another assist. Reggie, 2nd goal of the season for Reggie as well. Joins that great list of about 5 or 6 players in the squad with 2 goals in the Premier League, which is a very, esteemed
2 goals,
list,
3 assists, isn't it?
2 goals, 3 assists, maybe for Reguilon this season, which is actually a fair tally, I must say, for a fullback. But Kulu as well, gotten that assist. I mean, absolutely glorious to see Dark Sun G. Absolutely glorious. And then Ian Cook saying, my dad's an Everton fan, and the bet was whichever team wins, me or my dad gets £10. Well, Ian, It's looking like you're going to be spending that £10 somewhere maybe tonight, hopefully. Perhaps, Dave, an Antonio Conte pizza maybe for Ian Cook.
Do you know what I would say, Ian? You can take that £10 and like Jack is saying, get the Antonio Conte special from Domino's, or you could say to him, start from 0-0 here now. Actually, no, I'm changing my mind. Sanchez is coming on, so don't make the bet. I was going to tell you because
full time 4-4.
But what I was going to say is you could say to him, start from 0-0 again and predict the rest of the game 1-0. Romero's coming on off. I wonder is there an injury?
If he's injured,
no, it has to do not injured. I think it has to do with cards, correct?
Yellow card, maybe.
Yellow card.
It better be.
I hope so. It'll be interesting to see if any physios or anything go near him straight away. But my man Ian, forget everything I was saying to you. Sanchez is now on the pitch. It's gone out wide
He's
to regular.
rubbing
Go
again.
on, just run at him. Just run at him. He's old.
Oh, he's lost the touch.
How Seamus Coleman isn't in the retirement home by now, I do not know. The guy's just a machine.
But just can't afford when he's been on Everton wages for his career.
Oh, it's Everton on the break. It's out wide. Who's this wannabe Ronaldo? He cuts it back. Gordon. It's to the edge of the box. That is a shocking effort by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He needs more training. Wouldn't see Big H take a shot like that. Well pressed by Sonny. Oh, it's a shot. Oh, it's right across. Oh, it's just gone wide. Thank God for that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Honestly, I bet you he's pushing for a move to Leeds this summer. Man bun FC. Look at that. He beats them all.
Good to
Just
say.
like a shot.
Romero's been off the pitch 60 seconds and they've had their first chance of the game.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's like that doesn't feel like a coincidence.
No,
I know nothing has come down
is.
Sanchez's side, but that confidence that having a Romero when your team brings you.
No, what is
As Sanchez tries to
doing?
score an own goal.
What was that ball across the box? Seriously, he needs to wake up. He's only on the fucking field.
Joe Roden on Sanchez off.
Oiberg out to Reguilon. Reguilon back to Davies. Come on, guys. Need to wake up here. I know we're 4-0 up, but Jesus. Oh, Hoiberg, look at that.
Hoiberg. Tell me he can't pass.
That's giving me a hard on. What a ball. It's out to Kulusevski.
He can't pass.
Kulusevski. Shoot. Oh, that pass gave me a hard on. Oh, that was unreal.
Tell me he can't pass.
Jack, what would you say to people that say Hoiberg can't pass, lad?
Hoiberginho, Dave. I spoke about it in the beginning of the season when he played Wolves. You know, Dave, he had 3 megs against Wolves. The guy, they just disrespect him, and they try to put him in the same conversation as Harry Winks, Dave. It's just the most disrespectful thing I've heard probably in this year alone. I'm not saying Hoiberg's
when someone says that.
I mean, Coolidge is absolutely.
Oh, Coolidge. Sonny! Oh!
How did that not go in?
How's that not go in?
Whoever that 12-year-old is cleared it.
Who's that?
Who is that?
Who's that 12-year-old?
I don't think I've ever seen that man before.
Look at that.
Great footwork. Great ball.
Sonny.
I think Son has to be a bit more selfish there.
It just looked like Sanchez did he put that way. Sanchez thought he was defending up the other end. It's a corner kick. It's Reguilon on this corner. Interesting. It's a good deep delivery. Too deep.
Need to update it to 4-0.
Oh! It was nearly 5. Dyer missing one at the near post. Moondog bet nearly coming in. Oh, yeah, Nick, we need to change the scoreboard from 4 to 3. Nick enjoying the game too much, so he is enjoying the game and enjoying the beer with it. What a legend! What a legend! He's bored after 3. He's lost count. I'm absolutely loving life today. I am buzzing. Oh,
what a ball by Doherty.
Oh! Yes!
Come on!
King! Fucking King! Come on! Nick, change it to 5, my man. Change it to 5. Let's go.
Absolutely sensational.
Big Harry.
Oh, Doherty! What a
Spurs.
pass.
Oh, Big H. Come on. I'm loving life. This is my wet dream. 5-0 against Everton and Big H on the double. Love it. He's like a secret agent. Let's see this.
Lads, Everton are so
Everton
bad.
tried to play out. That is absolutely shocking. We thought we couldn't pass out. That's bad.
Doherty with
It's gone
this
to
pass
Doherty.
here. What a thing.
You naughty boy.
On his left
Oh my
foot.
God.
Oh.
Honestly, that should come with a warning sign. That is so good. That should come with a warning sign. What a ball over top. I mean, he just floats it. It's like a hot air balloon in the wind. It's lovely. And then Harry Kane, it just drops to him. And my God, he hit that better than Kurt Zouma hit his cat. What a shot. Jesus Christ. Nestles that into the bottom corner. That was unbelievable.
But Doherty with that pass as well. He's never done that in his career.
He's the Irish Cafu, Matty.
Sorry, the Irish Cafu. Yeah, my apologies. I think we should start calling Cafu the Brazilian Doherty.
Oh, that was unbelievable. What a ball. Honestly. Put that guy in midfield now if he's playing passes like that. That's just sick.
Kyle saying Kyle's 8-0 is on.
Yeah, actually, do you know what, Jack? Right, he actually predicted 5-0, and then he was on the pre-match pump up for like 10 minutes, and then he changed to 8-0.
Oh, what a legend! What a legend, Kyle. KVP, the biggest. Dave, all the best abbreviations of names in the world. KVP has the best one. KVP, the
Oh,
legend.
no, he is. He is. Big up, Kyle. Big up, my man. Come on, this is great performance from here. Oh, it's another ball. Are we releasing again? Kulu, unlucky.
King
About to
Hoddle
strike on
saying
the strike
Kane is
back.
joint third in the Premier League now with 10 goals in his worst ever season. Dave.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What's he now? One behind Sonny or equal top scorer now in the Premier League?
He's equal with Sonny, if not has more goals than Sonny. I
Yeah, is he?
think he has
Well,
more goals than
I
Sonny, if not
mean,
the equal.
Jack, remember I said it back when he didn't have any goals. He will still finish our Premier League top scorer. I'm
I
not
guess.
surprised. I'm not
I
surprised.
mean,
I knew it was coming. I predict these things.
and there are Harry Kane trackers on other channels, looking for him to not score, Dave, which is the
I mean,
funny part as well.
if they had their way, it'd be sold and Bergwijn be up front every week.
Yeah, probably.
We need pace. It was all about the pace, all about pace. Not anymore. It's about skill. It's about class. Like I keep saying, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Dark Sun G saying this is the perfect game for goal difference. Doherty has last 3 games, 1 goal and 2 assists. This is the perfect revenge for last season in FA Cup. Let's go for 8-0. Put on Harvey White. Oh, I love it, Dark Sun G. I want to see Harvey White come on. But Matty, I mean, the goal difference has been a problem for us. And is this game, potentially a great opportunity for us actually to repair it?
Here we go again. Come on.
To be honest, with the 4-0 against Leeds last week and 5-0 already this week, this could be a season-defining week for us. If we are going to get back in that top 4 race.
That's a yellow.
Lads, this is so enjoyable.
That's a yellow card. Honestly, I feel like I'm watching Brazil here today. Look at that. Honestly, I think Doherty forgot that the Grand National is coming up soon. He's hurdling between 2 players there. He'd love it. Like a prime Irish racehorse stallion he is.
Mikalenko coming on for Everton.
Oh.
I think.
I'm just going to the Jack's guys side. The Mount Water. I've been taken on board today.
Taking off Van de Beek. For Mikalenko. Interesting substitution. Who has been their left back so far? It's been Kenny.
They going 5 at the back, shoring things up.
Are they just are they just going 5 in the back? Are they just trying to save the embarrassment here? What do you think?
I say a lovely touch here from the Spurs fans standing up and applauding Mikalenko. Of course, Ukrainian international footballer as he comes on the pitch there. But now we score 12 goals against him. Some put it in blocked. Sorry, I forget the question.
No, do you feel like, with maybe them putting on Mikalenko for Van de Beek, which isn't really exactly a swap for swap, or, a like for like, do you think that means Lampard's now just saving embarrassment? He's not even, trying to get anything. He's just trying to save embarrassment.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's, like I said, they're in a relegation battle. That as much as the goal difference getting bigger is important for us, it's important for them that theirs doesn't get worse. And it's going to be an onslaught for the next 30 minutes from us. They don't have enough to pin us back. They can't get out from their own defensive area. It's simply about trying to concede as few as possible now. And I know this could come back to bite me. It could finish 5-2, 5-3. It's Spurs. We don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but I think with the way the second half has started, especially with Tottenham making a couple of changes and that momentum not going anywhere, us still dominating every area of the pitch, every 50-50. It should just be damage limitation here for Everton, but it could get worse. Kulusevski here on the right hand side, facing up Mikalenko, pulls it back to Bentancur. I think we've kind of just slowed it down a little bit as well. Ultimately, we don't need to go all guns blazing when you have a big game coming up in 5 days. So we can take the foot off the gas a little bit. I know we'd love to see us go full throttle and get 8 or 9, but it's not necessary.
No, it's not necessary, exactly. What have you made of the fact that great pass from Pierre there? What have you made from the fact that Everton, I know like Lampard, maybe not the most convincing of signings back post.
Oh, just too high. Kulu. Oh, you got to take that shot. No, he's giving it free.
But Kulu,
he's not happy.
That's absurd. He's not happy with that being called a foul. But I mean, what do you made of the fact that maybe with Lampard, he's had some victories, here and there so far. And you could say Everton could be better without, Benitez, but what have you made of the fact that, this is probably the most embarrassing result Everton maybe have had this season, actually? So, I mean, as much as, a bunch of other teams have demolished Everton, Matt, is what I'm trying to say. This one is perhaps the most convincingly, kind of, I don't know, brutal. What have you made of that?
I think Everton are getting what they deserve from their managerial appointment. I said it when Chelsea appointed him. They're appointing Frank Lampard the player. They're not appointing Frank Lampard the manager, because his managerial record speaks for itself. He brought Derby from 6th in the Championship to, again, 6th in the Championship. The only difference was they got to the final of the playoffs instead of the semi-finals. They played one game more and ultimately got the same thing at the end of the season. It was a brave call from Chelsea, and I can see why they went with it at the time, but there's a reason that he was sacked when he was. There was a reason he was sacked mid-season. They weren't going anywhere. He's tactically inept, and it's not a criticism of him because, well, it is a criticism of him. He's Frank Lampard. I hate him. I think someone's offside there, but just runs past him. But, the 99% of managers need some time in the lower leagues to properly, find their own managerial philosophy, their own identity. And I don't think Frank Lampard did that. And he's been thrown into these big jobs. And for me, the most embarrassing thing with Frank Lampard is he reportedly turned down the Norwich job because he thought he was too good for it. And now he could be playing in the Championship with them next season.
You're getting sacked in the morning. Come on.
He's up there with Sol Campbell thinking he's the greatest mind in football. The two of them will be managing in the National League South soon, and we'll be enjoying every second of it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I did text you, Nick. I don't know if you can hear me. I was just saying, if you want to come on and join us, you're more than welcome, my man.
Lightwork saying we need to carry this mentality to United. Top 4, I guess Lightwork is saying, is back on, Dave. But can we carry on this sort of performance onto United, Dave? Or will it just be back like always, at Spurs, where all of a sudden it's just the opposite performance again?
Well, I think, look, it falls into the 4 days or less category. That's 6 losses out of 7. So it doesn't look good for us. But what I will say is, like Mark is saying, we have to carry this mentality into the United game. Do I believe we can? Of course we can. I mean, we spanked them 6-1. We also rocked up there under Potts, bet them 3-0. You know what I mean? So there's every chance we can definitely give United a humbling. Look, Ronaldo's out with some sort of hip injury, even though he's not actually injured. Imagine that one. Cavani's just flat out refusing to play. And look, I said it yesterday. I can't remember who I was saying it to. I think it was actually you, Jack. But when you see United, Kulu on the ball. What can he do? It's gone backwards to Matt Doherty. We're in the box here. Matt Doherty tries to play it into Højbjerg. Too much power on it. But back to what I was saying. I think it was to you, Jack. I was saying it yesterday on our world's best 11 that we done on the flat cap. That when you see United playing with someone like Alanga up top or out wide, you know you have trouble, especially with the amount of money and the array of talent that they do actually have at their disposal. There's trouble there. So. Look, for me, I think we can definitely rack up there and take advantage. I will say they did give up against United or City yesterday when they went 3-0 down. They stopped pressing, stopped running, completely given up. It's not acceptable. But I would be expecting maybe a bit of a reaction from them. So we do have to be wary of that. And Conte giving the applause. What's the applause for? Anyone know?
Just for being Conte.
Well, we'll give them the applause. Kulu! Oh, we'll join in on that applause anyway. Good effort by Kulu. Honestly, we are absolutely balling out here. Balling out. Everybody's been superb today.
For me, look, it's an incredible performance. We've been sensational. But I have no faith that we'll be anywhere near this good against Man United on Saturday. I hate to...
I don't blame you.
To bring a downer on it. But ultimately, we played this good against Manchester City. It was a better quality opposition, so it didn't look the same, if that makes sense. But in terms of quality and sticking to a game plan, I think we did just as well against City as we did as we're doing here. Perhaps the same against Leicester back in January, against Leeds as well.
Well done,
but we need to keep this consistent.
Yeah, no, spot on. I'm sorry, I was just applauding there. Sonny's coming off. Sonny is off. Steven Bergwijn is on. So that's a bit of rest for Sonny ahead of United game. Maybe we could get off Harry or maybe even Bentancur would be a good one. But good
That's
game.
all our subs, though, isn't it?
Well done,
that's all our
Sonny.
subs. Seth, Romero, and Son. So we've none left.
Yeah, that's all 3 subs used. Spot on, actually. Yeah, so that's all of them used. We won't be making any more. Anything out on
Dark
Twitter,
Sun G
Matty,
saying
about
Man United will lose to us. We play great against the Big Six. Will Man United be an easier game than we think, lads?
It'll either be extremely easy or extremely difficult. You never know with United. They'll either show up or they'll have these rifts in the camp, which I think they're lying about. With Maguire and his tweets and all that stuff. I think it was very telling what Scott McTominay said in his interview yesterday. He said he doesn't care what's going on behind the scenes. They should do better on the football pitch. That tells us there's something going on behind the scenes.
Fair point.
With Ronaldo and Cavani missing that game yesterday and all that other stuff going on. I think there are a lot of risks in that United camp that they're not willing to admit just yet. But they need a reaction after the Manchester derby, and it could come on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like Man United, it's tough to know which one will show up. And, will they kind of be open like maybe Frank Lampard's, are? I'd like to think maybe they would be, actually. Whereas someone like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, would actually probably set up a bit more pragmatically than maybe Ralf Rangnick would. So I'm actually maybe a bit confident that we could actually open up their defense more than maybe some would expect. A beautiful pass in here from Bentancur. And Dark Sun G, I completely agree.
Matt Doherty back inside to Rodrigo Bentancur. Lolo to Højbjerg. Go on, give me a bit of magic.
Lolo.
Back to Kulu. Kulu will ball in behind for Bergwijn.
Saved.
Good save by Pickford.
Oh, you got to bury that. How do you shoot it right at him?
T-Rex arms.
Adrian Chia saying Netflix and Koi's for the remaining minutes of the match, Dave. You ever had a Netflix and Koi's, kind of session, Dave? I think anybody would be lucky to.
Here's Dele Alli.
We're just going to have it with the lads here. Netflix and Koi's session with Dele Alli coming on as well.
Standing ovation from the Spurs crowd as well as Dele comes on. I might cry.
It's not right seeing him in a different kit, but look, it had to be done at the end of the day. And look, he finds himself in the same situation he did at Tottenham. There's not really a role in that in Frank Lampard's team for him. But look, back to what you were saying, Jack, about what were we talking about? Netflix and chill. Yeah, or Netflix and Koi's. Yeah, that's definitely a session we need to have for sure, my man. Absolutely balling out today. Up 5-0. It's absolutely unbelievable. Could be 6. Good ball in, unlucky.
I think what he's even trying to say, Dave, is that this performance has been so easy to watch. It's been like watching Netflix almost.
Oh, yeah. It's been a delight. It's been a joy to watch. Absolute joyful performance. I have to say, from 1 to 11, I think everybody's had a superb game. And yeah, it definitely is Netflix and Koi's for sure. I mean, I'm in a nice relaxed mode. I was 19 minutes in when we were 2 goals to the good anyway.
Excuse me.
Sanchez on the ball. Sanchez out to Doherty. Doherty's been excellent today.
Look how many passing options we have the whole time as well. Like,
so good.
It's actually
everything they've given up. Everything have given up completely. Bentancur into Doherty. Doherty dragging 3 of them in towards him. You love that. Doherty looking for it again. It's gone out to Sanchez. Takes the easy option into Lolo. Lolo to Davy, to Dyer. What a ball by Dyer to Davies. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Ben. Let's go for number 6. Let's be ruthless. We could need goal difference. To Bergwijn. Back to Davies. Davies cuts inside. He's gone backwards to Dyer. Eric Van Dyer into Lolo. Lolo's on the ball now. He's gone out to Sanchez. Going down the right-hand side here. Sanchez out to Kulu. Kulu looks to play inside. On his left foot, he does. It's gone to Bentancur. Back to Dyer. We're just keeping ball now. Honestly, I'd say if I had the volume up, you'd hear all these delays going on. Way. It's gone. Bergwijn. Way.
Yeah, might as well turn. What is it called, Dave? When you turn backwards, is it called like the Panga or something or whatever it is? But
the Poznan.
The Poznan.
Oh yeah, the Poznan.
We might as well just do that on the watch along, Dave. Might as well just do that on the watch along. Turn our chairs around.
Do you know what? I have to say, I was loving it when City fans were doing it to United fans yesterday. Honestly, they were really in party vibe, enjoying it, making the most of it. You know what I mean? Disrespecting them with the Poznan. I feel like us Spurs fans should definitely start doing that for sure. You got to enjoy the wins when they come. Sanchez playing Doherty into trouble. That's a stupid pass by Sanchez.
Norwich have a minus 42 goal difference.
That's shocking. That is shocking. Jeez, we've even put more by Everton than what we did Norwich. It's a long ball over the top. It's a good ball. Sanchez doesn't know where he is. Doherty has to come in and clear it for him. Good recovery run by Doherty into Davies, into Bentancur. Lovely play on the edge of a box. Into Bergwijn. Bergwijn back to Lolo. Lolo. It's just cool, calm and collected to Reggie.
Oh,
Reggie. Honestly, he has made him sit down. Stay down, son. He's schooled you. It's gone out to Doherty. Doherty down the right-hand side here to Kulu. Kulu cuts inside. He nuts him again. It's lovely by Lolo to Bergwijn. Bergwijn, don't mess it up. This is beautiful football. Honestly, Bergwijn, he's still on the ball, takes three with him. And he messes it up with the shit pass. All that skill for nothing. Sanchez wins it back. Come on, Bergwijn.
Do you know what? Bentancur could punch me in my stomach and I'd applaud it. He plays with such grace, man. He's so
Kulu
good
there as well. Matty, him and Kulu were both, showing, the Juve bench warmer techers there. But the Craig Ward in here with the super chat and saying bittersweet seeing Dele come on. Dave, are you proud of the Spurs fans? Seeing the reception that Dele received. Do you feel like that was the right move at the end of the day?
No, look, 100%. I think. Look,
he's done more for this club than even some of the players that I see on this bench, right now, at the end of the day.
Look, for me, he's done more for this club than what Harry Winks ever has, and he gets idolised. Look, with Dele Alli, look, I know the way it ended, the 3 years, they went sour, it was poor, it was like poor attitude by him and everything else. But look, ultimately, through what I would say is, although we didn't really win anything, it was probably my most successful period watching Tottenham. He was a massive part of that, He got us to a load of finals, semi-finals, close in league runnings. He was a part of that. So you got to give him the right send-off for that,
Yeah, I'm with you. Matt, what do you think? I mean, at the end of the day, that's the right move to make by the Spurs fans, regardless of what your thoughts were of Dele, maybe when
Matt still loves him. Matt has pictures of him.
I know, Matt. Does. But Matt, are you maybe then happy to see the way that he was received by the Spurs fans?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting it, to be honest. I knew he'd get a good reception. He's one of those. It didn't go sour in the way that. I'm trying to think of a player that it went properly sour with, but like it wasn't. The relationship between the player and the fans wasn't tarnished in any way. It was simply an acceptance on all parts that his time at Tottenham was up and he needed to move on. I think that acceptance just took a little bit longer on Dele's side, which is perfectly fair because a player of his quality, you'd expect him to have that confidence in himself to turn things around. But yeah, he deserved that reception. And I don't want him to score, obviously, but if he does, I think he get a similar reception with that as well. The only thing is, I'm just after realizing that with how bad this Everton team goes, how bad they are right now, we could see Dele Alli in the Championship next season, which is ridiculous.
He deserves that, though. To be fair, that's what you get when you don't perform for 3 years. Like, I'm all for applauding him for what he's done for the club, but I'm not going to cry if he ends up in the Championship. It's consequences of being a shithouse.
I wouldn't cry. I'd just be a little bit. I'd be upset for a few weeks. Then I'd watch him get 25 goals and it would be fine.
He deserves it. If that's the way you're gonna act as a footballer, you deserve it.
This is blasphemy, David.
Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! No, he does not. No. He gives it away.
I think he will be trying to get
nowhere near him. Turns on the afterburn. He's nowhere near
playing back, Harry. Playing back.
Dele Alli tackling Harry Kane is a weird image.
Nasty. Better not do that again, Dan.
Dark Sun G saying, I'm glad that Ben returned in a short time and Winks being out. I mean, was that a blessing probably in disguise, having Bentancur be back, Matt? Because I guess we thought Skip.
He's so good. He gets
sorry, he's just nutmeg someone on the edge of his own box.
I know. I can't even get away with 3 seconds without Bentancur. Ooh and ah again.
But, Højbjerg.
With Skippy, with Skippy, and Bentancur being gone at one stage, Maddie, do you feel like, Bentancur being back is actually more of a blessing than maybe we've even given it?
Yeah. To be honest, I think Bentancur, it's important to have him back more than it is to have Skip, because
interesting, yeah.
I think Skip has been better than Højbjerg this season, but Højbjerg can do what Skip has done, whereas there's no one in that team can do what Bentancur has done. And I think in terms of having that dynamism and having that extra kind of flair in midfield, we need Bentancur. Whereas what Skip does can be done admittedly to a lesser level, as it has been this season by Højbjerg. So yeah, for me at the moment, Bentancur is the first name in that team sheet in the middle of the park. even when Skip is back. But let's imagine Bentancur and Skip in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I get what you're saying, but for me, our best midfield is even with Skip fit, it's Højbjerg and Bentancur. Look, Skip and Højbjerg are similar players, both win the ball, both can pass the ball, both do the same sort of job. So what it does do is, even if we want to take one out and put another one in, you can change it like for like. But I think our best midfield is definitely Højbjerg and Bentancur. You look at the game today, we've completely dominated. The two of them have absolutely balled out. They've won ball back. It's been an unbelievable performance by the two. And
Agreed.
the only change in the starting lineup between today and Middlesbrough, Harry Winks for Bentancur. So,
oh, that is damning. That is so damning.
Were there no other changes apart from that?
No. The only change was Harry Winks from the Middlesbrough game. The only change.
I mean, Dave, this is at home, though. This is at home against an awful Everton. I mean, would this have been the same performance?
Oh, 100%. Look.
Would this have been the same performance had Winks, played alongside a Højbjerg?
Oh, no. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Everton would have dominated the ball.
Look, that first goal is Bentancur, to be fair.
I don't want to put everything all the time on Harry Winks, but it is no surprise that anytime he plays, A, we don't control the game in terms of possession, and B, we get overrun in midfield and they target him all the time.
Yeah.
But it is a Tottenham throw here down this right-hand side. Matt Doherty, a good throw into the middle. Look at that. He launched it like NASA launched the rocket. That's beautiful. Oh, that's
it's our ball.
Oh, come on. I love the way like Dele Alli's pretending to be interested at 5-0 down. Give me the ball quick. Let me get on with this quick. It's like you're 5-0 down with 12 minutes to go. Relax, son.
To be fair, he's still trying to impress a new team.
Yeah, he is, but he's not getting into it. Unless he can fit into that tree in midfield.
It's a weird feeling being this relaxed for the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it is weird being this relaxed, but I'm loving it, Usually I'm sitting here all red-faced, angry, high blood pressure, on risk of heart attack. Today, you know what I mean? It's been that good, that enjoyable. I've had that much fun. Sometimes you have that much fun, you could go for a nap. That's what I feel like today. That's the way it is today. I love it. Already to Sanchez. Sanchez across to Eric Van Dyer. Eric Van Dyer, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Take as many as you want, lad. Doesn't matter. Kill this time. Still touching the ball. Very greedy of him. It's gone out to Ben Davies. Ben Davies tranching forward. It's gone into Bergwijn. Bergwijn out to Reguilon. Back to Lolo. Lolo, he thinks about switch of play. Just counts it down out to Davinson Sanchez. Talk about tempo setting. You got to love that. It's gone into Kulu. Kulu has gone into Højbjerg. Højbjerg stabs it back to Dyer. Into Lolo. Lolo back to Dyer. Come on, guys, go forward. 1C6. Into Davinson. Davinson to Kulu. Kulu back to Højbjerg. Oh, Højbjerg, good pass into Harry. Harry, good pass out wide to Doherty. Matt, into Kulu. Come on, we're getting forward here now. Do not go backwards, Matt.
Yes,
Matt. Into Højbjerg. Great pass.
Bergwijn needs to come short there.
Davies. Into Reguilon. Come on, Reggie. Just nuts one of them again. Back to Eric Van Dyer. Eric Van Dyer out to Sanchez. Sanchez into Kulusevski. Great first time pass to Højbjerg. Højbjerg on the outside for Doherty. Just about keeps it in. Into Kulu. Back to Højbjerg. Great ball. Højbjerg goes for the switch of play. Slips. And it still nearly gets there. Unlucky. Oh, go on, get some.
I was hoping for one of those goals where every player's touched the ball in the build-up.
Oh, Højbjerg!
Challenge.
Sir, thank you, Rav. Thank you, Rav. You got stuck in there. Thank you, Rav.
Stevie B is running directly at them. Just give it to Harry. Just run off him. Harry.
Oh, what a touch. Oh, sir!
How is that not a penalty?
That's a pen.
How is that not a penalty? Please tell me. I mean, even Ray Charles, he's blind and he would have seen that. Drag him down and kick him.
I think you can see the damage limitation here from Everton. We broke through that midfield. In the first half, it would have been 2-on-2, but they had their 3 players back there. They've given up. They're settling for a 5-0 defeat. That's the level Frank Lampard's at.
Matt, Dark saying, just a moment here, Kulusevski.
Sir! That's another free kick.
Still on his feet.
Assault!
Kulu again. Go on.
Back
He takes
post.
for a spin. Good ball. Regular on back post. Can he win it? Shane's
Ref.
going. He sends him to the weight room.
Oh, that's shoulder to
no,
shoulder.
That,
No.
Then you give that.
It's not a free kick. Jesus.
Then you give that, ref.
That's shocking. That's shoulder to shoulder. I mean, I get it. You feel sorry for them. They're being pummeled 5-0, but my God.
Give me a
Matt,
ginger
saying
from
our goal
Sweden.
difference is higher than United. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Let's score 2 more. Matt, do you feel like, the goal difference, it's more important than maybe people want to realize, because it could come down to, us maybe finishing 5th versus 6th, or, who knows, even 6th versus 7th, or 4th versus 5th. It could come down to that at the end of the day.
I'm sorry, Matty, but before you answer, can anyone tell me if that referee gave that player a yellow card for lunging on Kulu like that?
I don't think he did.
That's shocking. That's fucking shocking. Sorry, Matty.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've struggled. Oh, great challenge, Kane, getting Delhi back for that one earlier. We've struggled a lot with goal difference this season, up until, that's incredible football.
Come on,
Where
boys.
did they learn how to do that?
That's a free in. You better give it. Yeah, that's what I saw.
This is beautiful.
Lads, these are players who couldn't, honestly, I wouldn't trust them to take a penalty 6 months ago. Now they're playing like this. The content magic.
Football. Pass and move football, push and run. You gotta love it.
Oh, I think Reggie has bought that there. I won't lie to you.
6. I'm giving a 6 for that one. Oh, Kane comes through, Ali. You love that. And catches his boot. Look at that. Pulls him to the ground. Ankle lock. Thought he was in MMA. He's watching too much MMA at the weekend.
And they thought that was the player Harry Kane wanted to play alongside after that, tackle, Dave.
Everybody.
But Matty, goal difference more important than maybe people sometimes give it credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we're going to be in any sort of a race for whether it's top 4 or top 6, with how tight it is there at the moment, and essentially how bad every team there is, it could easily come down to goal difference at the end of the season. And
yeah, that's my.
If we win out on that front, it's Leeds and Everton that we're going to look back on as very important days.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I think it actually really will end up being some sort of, I feel like, 4th position, 5th position, 6th position, 7th position could actually be decided on goal difference. So I'm completely with Dark Sun G. Capcop Gaming said, if only we could perform week in, week out. Yeah. I mean, maybe Dave, next, performance, is it going to be the same version of this to a degree, where the boys are, showing, their class, they're showing their organization, their confidence, or is it just going to be, kind of like Burrow, where it's just going to be the opposite all of a sudden again?
I think we'll be up for the United game, I think Højbjerg will absolutely relish getting stuck in. Bentancur, look, he's gonna love to. He's gonna relish showing his skills off at Old Trafford. Same as Kulu. Kane, Son, they're gonna get a lot of space. Their centre backs aren't exactly the quickest. For me, I'm actually feeling confident going into that United game. Kulu again. Look at this. He's gone on the outside. Good ball in. Reguilon goes to meet it. David Sanchez slips. Oh, it's cleared. But look, I'm feeling confident going to United game. I think we can definitely carry this performance over. I mean, we've got nothing else to concentrate but the Premier League. And between now and the end of the season, it'll show me how much these players want Champions League football. Are they desperate for it? So look, time will tell. But I do think we'll turn up. And everybody, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button as well if you are new.
Absolutely. And William Kelly saying, what a difference when Winks is not there. I predicted a 1-0 loss, but then again, I thought Winky would be playing. LOL. No, William Kelly, that's why you got to be there for the pre-match build-up, my man. No matter how early, no matter what time work is, Dave, I think William Kelly, he's got to be showing up for the pre-match build-up, because then he would have known that Bentancur was starting today, and he wouldn't have even thought, to predict that sort of, result. But William Kelly, big up, my man. I'm glad that, I'm glad this is what you're, he deserves a result like this, Dave.
No, he does. And he's got to be absolutely buzzing with it. And William, I do hope you're keeping well down under. I know the last time you said, you had the floods and stuff. So I do hope you're keeping well and you're okay, my man. And you like Jack said, that's why you got to tune into the pre-match pump up for the team news, my man. For the team news. As soon as there was Bentancur and Højbjerg, I just knew we were going to win that. I knew it.
Big up, William Kelly. Absolute legend. Tala Ahmed saying, I can't wait for summer window so we can hopefully get some squad depth and more consistency. I want to see Conte ball in full effect every single game. Matt, I think that's what just everybody wants, but I'm just going to quickly wait here. Beautiful pass here from Reguilon into Højbjerg.
Slows it down.
The runs from Bergwijn left a lot to be desired.
Huh?
I feel like he's trying to hold it up a lot. Not really make runs in behind. He's trying to ask the ball to feet instead of really, running behind.
Yeah. Stevie
Then
B.
again, I'm a bit more distracted.
Go on, Big H. Well won. Back to Lolo. Lolo holds it up. Just killing time here. Out to Ben Davies.
Surely there'll be no added time for this. Put Everton out of their misery.
Yeah. Reguilon beats Coleman on the outside. Drops it back. Plays it into Davies. Oh, Davies.
Come on, Højbjerg. Get stuck. Come on! Come on, Bent!
What a challenge by Bentancur. Oh, he's injured himself.
Scheiße.
No, he's injured pain.
But no. Matt, yeah.
Just the Everton end is empty. Look at that.
Yeah, it really is. But Matt, Tala saying, he wants to see players that come in that can, help reinforce Conte balls. And that's, I think, is the most important thing, is to allow, him to have players that, he can then be able to play the system that he wants to be able to play. We've been calling out for like 4 in the back and, systems like that, Matt. And I feel like I understand. But, what we really want is for Conte to play the system that we saw at Chelsea, the system that we saw at Inter, that we know can actually win us things.
You can't complain about Doherty playing in a 4 at the back, then ask Conte to play a 4 at the back.
Yeah,
Doherty is a system player. Antonio Conte is a system manager. The difference is Antonio Conte has won absolutely everywhere he's been with that system. He's won Serie A titles. He's won Premier Leagues. Did he win with Italy? He probably did. I don't know.
Yeah, he won, I think he won at least a few couple of Italias, and then of course one with Juventus, as well. So
with the Italian national team, I don't know if he won something there.
No,
but
I don't think he did.
No, I think what he did is that he took that team when it was a really bad team, and I think he took them to the semifinals or something like that. And it was like an atrocious
there you go.
Italian team. It had like Graziano Pelle, that Southampton guy back.
And Giaccherini played there as well when he was with Sunderland.
Right, it was a terrible team, I remember.
Yeah, and he did well with them. I mean, there's no point in having Conte if you're going to make him play a 4 at the back, but there's also no point in having Conte if you're going to do what we did in previous managers and say, manager goes, I want this £50 million player, he's absolutely perfect, and we go, well, this guy does the same thing, just a little bit worse for half the price. Conte walks if we do that in the summer. And as was mentioned earlier, that Champions League football is so important to that, because we can attract a much higher level of player if we get into the Champions League, which I don't think we will. If we play like this for the rest of the season, we walk into that Champions League. But if the last month has taught us anything, it's that we're not going to play like this for the rest of the season. But you can be damn sure we're going to enjoy it when we do.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. You're damn sure we're going to be enjoying it. But Tala, all I would say is just head on over to Matt's channel if you're not already subscribed there, because you'll be finding out about the players we'll be pursuing to be filling out Conte's system in order to do that dream, my man. But big up Ahmed, big up Tala. Really, really appreciate the super chat. Very, very generous. And then Dark Sun G saying, does Everton even have a shot on target? Easy win. Dave, is this a bit similar to Leeds United, though? We're just 2 atrocious teams that we're just bullying, that maybe doesn't say very much about how good we are?
No. Look, Leeds had like 19 shots on our goal or something like that. We gave up way too much against Leeds. Today, look, we've controlled it. We've controlled the ball, and we've looked after the ball well. Look, as much as we can say Everton is a shit team, if you don't look after the ball, you're giving them the ball, and you're always putting yourself in danger and giving them confidence. But look how well we've looked after the ball today. Passing, spraying it side to side, beating players, speed of the counter-attack. We fully deserve our win here today. Fully deserve it, in my opinion. It's not the fact that it's 2 crap teams. I don't think so. We've seen today that we can play to a high level. When we want to. I mean, let's be honest. How many teams have slapped Everton 5-0 this season? So, look, for me, I know Everton don't travel too well away from home, but I think you got to give credit to the team today. We've looked after the ball well. There's been nowhere near as many gaps appearing in the back line that we have seen over recent weeks. But hopefully now it's going back to where we started under Conte when we went on that 9 unbeaten in the Premier League. We had our best defenders out there. We've seen today now. You add that to our wing backs, they've all contributed today. Two midfielders, outstanding. Forward players, absolutely outstanding. So for me, I think you got to give the team credit today.
Yeah, I like that answer, Dave. I mean, it's a brave answer, and I really like that answer, and it's what I want to hear. Spartan 7 game and saying, keep up the good work, lads.
It's good to see you,
Appreciate it.
man.
And it's a really generous one as
I
well,
haven't
Dave.
seen
It's really
Spartan in a while. I haven't seen him in a while. I hope you're keeping well, brother. I hope you are keeping well. And I really do appreciate the support, my man.
It's really generous one, and all I can say is, my man, you can also as well thank Lazy 801 for making this look a lot
Mm.
better than it usually does. But Spartan, really do appreciate support. Really, really generous, my man. William Kelly saying, anyone who doubts Conte needs to pull their heads in this manager is a class act. This is tough, William Kelly. I mean, when you kind of think about it, I feel like a bit of the Conte criticism in certain elements, I could see where it comes from. And I think we learned, all of a sudden that Conte is in fact a human being, and, human beings do make mistakes, and human beings can get things wrong sometimes. And I
Mm.
think we learned that with Antonio Conte. It just seems like, there was this weird distinction where we were forgetting all of the things that he was doing originally. And I've said this before, William, that we had this unbelievable honeymoon period with Antonio. 9 games unbeaten. All of a sudden, we're challenging for top 4 in pole position for top 4, and then it just starts slipping through our hands, and we kind of start blaming the guy that got us there in the first place, the guy that resurrected Harry Winks. All of a sudden, the guy that resurrected Sanchez for a few weeks. All these players that we thought were hopeless. I just feel like, I don't know. Antonio's going to have his rough weeks. He's going to have his rough days with this team that, believe me, is not very good at times, and he's going to have his good days as well. And William Kelly, I think you feel the same way. Pick yourself up, my
Come
man.
on! It's over. Game over. Full time. Tottenham 5, Everton 0. A lot of questions answered today about Sonny. The mentality of the team. Can they bounce back? Will they suffer a hangover? Clean sheet as well defensively. All round great performance here this evening from Tottenham Hotspur. Like I said, Tottenham 5, Everton 0. But sorry, Jack, back to you.
No, it's a glorious day to be. It's the glorious day to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan, Dave. Adele is probably even singing it right now as we speak. But Philip Brady's in the house, Dave. Philip Brady's in the house, and he's saying, "I picked a good night to go swimming. Maybe miss a few more games if they play like this." I mean, Dave, I know Jody from Paxton Road. She always likes to ask about superstitions. I mean, do you kind of feel the same way? Do you feel like maybe Philip needs to maybe miss a few more games?
Yeah, Philip, you go swimming every day Spurs are playing. Matty, you come on here every game Spurs are playing as well.
Oh, if I could, David.
Nick's got to stay in the background for every game. Everything we've done today has to stay the exact same going forward from now on. Absolutely love it. But Philip, my man, sorely missed. I was looking for you to come on earlier for the pre-match build-up, but obviously you're out swimming, enjoying yourself. Hope you had a good day, and now you're relaxing with a Tottenham 5-0 win and Harry Kane with a brace. What more do you want, Philip? What more do you want?
I mean, I kind of, even Dave, actually, I don't know, maybe some people have seen Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy enough, but like, I kind of pictured, Philip, Dave, taking that sort of Gary Oldman, kind of, swim, through the lagoon, as well. So, I mean, Philip, pick yourself up, my man. And I would just say, just avoid all Tottenham games and we'll win the league. We'll win the league, my man. Lazy 8 is in the house as well, Dave. And he's super chatting us, which is just ridiculous, Dave. And he's saying, big up Philip Brady for predicting at some point this season, some team will get a battering from us. Another at the weekend, please. Dave, Lazy 8 in here has given the super chat. The man behind the scenes, though, that's been running this and making it look unbelievable today. And he's, calling out Philip Brady as well, which I think we'll get to second. But, the fact that he's even super chatted us, I wish I could slap him across the screen if I could.
No, look, I want to say to Nick, for anybody that doesn't know, look, Nick has been working behind the scenes to kind of put all this together for us. And look, he's done an unbelievable amount of effort to be able to get it to this stage. And it will be improving. But this guy has sat here in the background for the whole watch along, running it, just making sure it's been running smoothly and everything else. What this guy does for the Irish Hotspur, it can't go without saying it. And Nick, that's why I don't care even if it lags. Come on and join us for a couple of minutes. Show your face. Revel in this with us. You fully deserve it, my man. Just come on if you can. And look, everybody, please give credit to Nick in the comments for the scoreboard, for the timer. It's made my day, and I know it's made it a lot more easier for everybody out there, and it looks a lot more better on the eyes as well. So hopefully people have enjoyed that. But in terms of Philip Brady, look, I stopped saying it for a while because I didn't think it was going to ever happen. But Philip has always maintained, at some stage someone's going to be on the end of a battering, and it's been a perfect performance, and it's happened today. But big up, Nick, if you can, do come on for a couple of minutes and enjoy it.
Battering finally came, Dave. The battering finally came. I guess Philip has probably been asking for. I mean, I don't know the last time we had a 5-0. I really don't. William Kelly saying as well, when Winks plays in this great jersey again, I will not watch the match. End of rant. Dave, with this sort of performance against Everton, again, I'm going to bring up the Leeds United sort of situation. Two pretty atrocious teams. Could you really make that sort of statement where Winks has that much of an effect on the performance? I'd like to, as much as I want to be on that train right away, Dave, I would be the first class passenger. I feel like maybe it's a bit similar to Leeds here, where maybe it's just another atrocious team.
Look, I can get your skepticism, Jack. I can get where that's coming from.
It's more just, Dave, I just don't want to be, there next week, seeing Højbjerg and Bentancur, lose to Man United, in an embarrassing way, I guess.
No, I don't think that'd be the case. Look, I fully get where you're coming from. But, look, Winks also had that one great game against Real Madrid that we keep hearing about. He's capable of a good performance once in a while. That Leeds game was that. But when you look back on the majority of the games this guy plays, and especially down the years, not just this season, but down through the years, we get overrun in midfield. We can't compete in midfield. We end up getting relinquishing possession an awful lot. And it doesn't happen when he's not here or when he's not in there. When it's Højbjerg and Bentancur, you see a complete difference. Look,
yeah.
I get what you're saying, Jack, but if Harry Winks was in this team today, it would have been 10 times harder, lad. It would have been 10 times harder, this result. And we wouldn't have looked as comfortable. But when you have Højbjerg and Bentancur dictating the tempo of play and getting on the ball as much as they were in midfield, but looking after it, making sure their passes went to players in white shirts, this is the result of it. Like, we have some great individual players here. We just have been poor as a team. It's been sloppy. You even look at the first goal. Look what Bentancur done. He went over to the left-hand side, dropped more or less into the left-back position, screened, give me the ball. He got the ball. First thing, he already knew. He didn't even have to look. He already knew where it was going. Like Matty said earlier on, ahead of Ben Davies, and encourages that to go forward, and we go and get the goal. We go and open it up 1-0. If Harry Winks is in there, that just does not happen.
Yep.
That does not happen. So for me, I get why you're a bit skeptical, Jack. But Harry Winks is a major problem. It's way too costly, lad. Way too costly.
It is way too costly,
especially in the engine room of any team.
But, Dave, I just want to be devil's advocate. So then, once I, can verify that, I don't need to be devil's advocate, I can buy that first class ticket on that train, to that conclusion that, William Kelly is making. But big up, William. Absolutely love it. I know he's enjoying the result. And then
I just want to say just quickly, there's 240 in-house, guys. Everyone, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you are new as well. Big push for 7K is on, guys. And feel free to get your super chats in, support the channel, and skip the queue. Don't worry, we know not everybody's in a position to do it. Just get your comments in the chat anyway, and we will get them up on screen. But sorry, Jack, back to you.
No, I appreciate it, Dave. Dark Sun G saying if Kulu can't score, he can assist, which is great. And I completely agree. I think what Kulu, has brought to this team again is what we've been asking for, is that third goal scorer, or perhaps even that third creator. Maybe I could even digress. What that third person needs to be is someone that just either can be what Christian Eriksen does, which, pops up with enough assists that, practically you could say are goals. And Kulu seems to be doing a bit of both at the moment. And it's also as well putting in some right-footed crosses, which I'm actually having, a bit of hope about, because he does often look a bit one-footed, but his delivery with the right foot, we saw him have an assist with it. We saw him put a few kind of dinked, right crosses in. So I don't know. I've been loving the look of Kulusevski down the wing, and I think he can be that third creator and that third goal scorer for us. But big up, Dark Sun G. Tottenham Tension Gold, just throwing in a chat in here, and he says, got to go, lads, to get my show ready. Great stream. Big up, all of you. Dermot, absolute legend, my man. Absolute legend. Do head on over. to Tottenham Tantrum Gold, everybody, when we finish up over here, because I know they're giving that post-match reaction, which I know is going to be absolutely full of. He's probably, Dave, going to give us all the 5-0s that have ever even happened at Spurs, Dermot the librarian. But everybody do head on over there. Dan Ann is saying, can't believe I'm saying it, but Irish Capu was man of the match. From one Matt to another. Matt, have you been waiting for this to happen? Are you surprised this is happening? Are you like Killian, where you're a big, Matt fan? What's going on here?
I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. I am surprised. I mean, I think we'd all lost hope in Matt Doherty, and I said it since day one that when he really started playing poorly, that nobody wants better from him than the Irish fans. I mean, of course we do. We haven't had an Irish player at the club since Robbie Keane. Of course, he performed at a very high level for a long time for the football club, and it's good to see another Irish player back. But I'd given up the hope. I'd lost faith that anything was going to happen. I know again at the beginning it was because of the system we were playing him in that back four. It's going to make it more difficult when we're playing him out of his system. But then at times, especially under Nuno, we started playing back in that 3/5 at the back, and that not only is the position that he thrived in, but it's the system, it's the formation, it's the manager, it's everything that made him the player that we wanted to buy, and it wasn't really working out then. I'm going to say it again. I'm still not convinced he's going to be a long-term option for Tottenham. I'm not convinced this form is going to last. But when it's happening, it's good to see it, and we're going to enjoy it because it's a goal and 2 assists now in 2 Premier League games, which we haven't seen from a right back really probably since Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that.
I don't even know if Kyle Walker could have threaded in some of those through passes, today that we haven't seen.
Yeah, some of those balls, like that assist for that Harry Kane goal was a brilliant pass. It was a brilliant pass. That was the exact same goal we scored against Leeds. The difference was it was Højbjerg making the pass that time. It was Doherty today, and there are 2 players that we would have identified at the start of the season as players who didn't have that creativity. So people are starting to crop up all over the pitch. Again, it's happening sporadically. It's not happening consistently enough. But you have to start somewhere, and I think we're starting with a good thing for that. Maybe there's a good basis, a good platform to push on to the end of the season with those players in there. But let's bide our time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Although we definitely will.
Beautifully put. Absolutely loving your responses so far, lads. DG in the house saying, I said it, us, 5 goals and Son Romero off shortly after the half. DG, my man, hopefully you're keeping well. It's ridiculously disgustingly, I think it was like 73, 74 degrees out today, which is just disgusting. DG, I think you're up north, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe you're in Long Island. I forget, my man, but I think you're away from the city a bit. So hopefully it's just not as gross out. Because I would say at this time of year, it should not be this warm as much as, no matter how nice it is, it should not be this warm. But DG, he's predicted it, Dave. He's predicted it. And, he said as well, he predicted the substitution. So he must be in either the hitman's mind or he must be in Conte's mind.
Yeah, look, he's got to be. He's definitely got to be. Look, you predicted it, DG. So fair play to you, my man. You did predict it. And with Romero coming off, I actually, when you said it, I actually forgot about the cards. To be honest, his yellow card. To be honest with you, so that was definitely a wise move. Sonny getting hauled off, I think that was just more of a rest. Delighted to see him get a rest, but absolutely buzzing, my man. Absolutely buzzing. And DG never change, my man. Keep predicting them things.
Controversial point maybe here, and Matt, if you're right to take it, Al is saying Reguilón looked 3 times the player of Sessegnon. Do you feel that way, Matt? As much as we want to bask in the win, a bit of maybe controversial opinion time, hot take time. Do you feel like Reguilón was that convincingly better?
I disagree that he was that much better, but what I love with that comment is it's showing the competition that we have in that position. Which is something we've massively been lacking at right back and at left back and in midfield and up top and in centre back and in goals. But we're lacking that competition in left back, and the very fact that there's a conversation there to be had, I think, is a very positive thing. But it's also praising Sessegnon for having been out of the team for so long. We got that loan to Hoffenheim. He played a lot in the early stages of the season, not as much as the season progressed. And now he's getting in this. What's that? 3-4 starts in a row again. I know Reguilón out with COVID for some part, but I think we saw when Reguilón came on that there's no effect of COVID. There's no injury that he's carrying. He was brilliant when he came on. With Sessegnon, it's just going to be a case of actually getting back to full fitness, getting back to full match sharpness. and getting these 45 minutes here, 70 minutes there is going to be really good to him.
Yeah.
I just really hope that the injury that brought him off wasn't something that will keep him out for any period of time, because I think if Reguilon gets that place in the team back, I think it's going to be very difficult for Sessegnon to wiggle his way back in there. But Sessegnon was good, got the assist for the own goal, of course. He was caught in possession a few times. I'm not going to say it was a flawless performance from him. Reguilon was definitely better, but I think you may be right saying Reguilon was 3 times better. I don't think he was, but he was better for the reasons that Sessegnon isn't match sharp. He's a younger player. He's a more inexperienced player, hasn't had as much game time. Saying that Reguilon is better isn't saying Sessegnon was bad. But again, that competition to have there is really important, and something I'm sure Conte will be rubbing his hands together with.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely, Matt. Again, a beautiful answer.
I love the way Matty puts positive spins on everything.
I love the way, Dave, because really, again, everybody with everybody in the house right now, Dave. From what I can tell, around 214 in the house right now, and everybody. We will try to get everybody's chats on screen, but super chats are coming in right now, and I think they're also great talking points because a lot of them are kind of discussing the game and getting to the point here, Dave. I was just saying, Matt, he'll answer the super chat and then he'll basically just bring up a talking point that I actually had, saved, later as well. So the guy is just on fire right now. Dark Sun G saying Winks wouldn't make that tackle that Ben did on Richarlison or fight VDB. Van de Beek and get a foul in the first half like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Also, this is the first game in a long time that the opposition have had no shots on target. Actually, Dave, I pointed this out a few times, actually, this match. There were a few moments where I saw Højbjerg, just show them the Antonio Conte weight room, brought Van de Beek to the floor. There was even another stage where Højbjerg received it at the top of the 18, where we saw Winks lose it there really crucially at one stage. But Højbjerg was able to shoulder off, the incoming players. Bentancur as well, even at one stage lost it and then just won it back all of a sudden, fighting through. Is that what you maybe need? I know everybody's been criticizing the 2-man midfield, but when you have kind of 2 players perhaps that are real ball winners, real kind of gritty sort of players like Højbjerg and Bentancur, maybe you can get away with the 2-man midfield because they're so kind of gritty to a degree.
I mean, I've said it all along. We can't keep expecting the manager to come in here and make up for Harry Winks' weaknesses and go for a 3 in midfield. Look, I've been saying it all along, even when people are calling for a 3 in midfield. You can play 2 in midfield once you have Højbjerg and Skip, once you have Højbjerg and Bentancur, once you have Skip and Bentancur, or whatever it may be, that combination. But once you have Winks in there, you can't. Look, it doesn't matter whether you put 2 or 3. If you put 3 in midfield, effectively, you're still playing with 2 anyway. So it doesn't make a difference. Look, for me, a 2 in midfield works perfectly fine. You just got to have the right players in there, and today we did. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with the performance from Rodrigo, Bentancur, and Højbjerg. I thought the 2 of them were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
Passing game was absolutely immaculate. At times they slowed it down when they had to. Got a score when they had to.
Yeah.
2 tempo setters there in the midfield today. Absolutely perfect. Look, it's something Harry Winks just cannot offer us. And like I said before, you shouldn't expect Conte to come in and change what he wants to do at Tottenham, even going into next season, just for Harry Winks. At the end of the day, it's up to Harry Winks to get into the team. Now, look, one thing I would have done if I was Conte is I would have played Harry White instead of Harry Winks, just to kind of prove that point. It's kind of like it's up to you to get better. But look, I think it's clear now you can put the notion to bed that we can't play a 2-man midfield because you can't.
Yeah, I think it is.
Can I just want to say really quickly, I just saw a thing on Twitter there. At the end of the game, Hugo Lloris brought Dele Alli over to the south stand to say a proper goodbye to the fans. And they were standing up, chanting his name, applauding him. And I'm going to cry when I go off stream because that's a proper captain move. That is
actually a proper captain move. And to be fair, Hugo Lloris at the end of the day is quite a classy man, and I'm not surprised that he did it. He's quite a classy man. Well done to Hugo, actually.
He's absolutely
Spurs
through and through.
Keep that in mind. When thinking about Hugo. Dark Sun G, absolutely massive, my man. Really do appreciate the super chat. Really do appreciate the really generous one, as well as also the continued support that you always give us on game days, my man. Absolute legend, and really couldn't agree more. I mean, seeing those 2 Vikings in the midfield, it does maybe show us that perhaps we could get away with that 2-man midfield, as I was talking about. But Kai Bake saying, or Kai Bike saying, oh, Bentancur, he's Tottenham Hotspur to the core. Oh, absolutely love it.
I love
Absolutely
it.
love it. Bentancur, you were saying just for Kai here, Matt, you were saying earlier, just maybe touch on it quickly again, that you're actually more excited or happier to see Bentancur come back even over Skip, which I actually thought was true, but I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think Skip, we can see in the numbers and we can see in the amount of games that we win or lose when Skip is or isn't there that he is extremely important to this team. But I think Højbjerg can do the job that Skip does. And look, we can have that debate whether Højbjerg does it to a higher level or not. I think I would say Skip does, as David said. He thinks it is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but Bentancur offers something in the midfield that nobody else offers in so many different areas. Like we saw with that first goal, dropping deep to pick up possession. We saw it a few times where he dribbles past 2 or 3 players in the middle of the park and turns kind of pointless defensive possession into a dangerous attack. And when you one man taking on 2 or 3 men, immediately you have that numerical overload when you move into the middle of the park, or if you're in on the defensive line, whatever it is. And Bentancur, I think already only 5-6 weeks into his time at Tottenham is extremely crucial to what we're trying to do. And we saw how much we missed him against Burnley and against Middlesbrough. And he's going to be an absolutely massive, massive player for us moving into the latter stages of this season and into next season. And we got him for, what was it, 18, 19 million pounds? That's an incredible purchase.
Euros, I think, right? 19 million euros as well.
That's a steal.
Ridiculous.
As well wore a balaclava into them negotiations. Honestly.
I mean, that's the price that we thought. That's the price. That's the price that, 7-8 months ago, we all thought maybe we could get away with selling Winks for, at one stage. That's absurd to think about. But Kai, absolute legend, my man. Really do appreciate it.
Just while we're touching on Bentancur, can we please take a minute to praise the Don Paratici? And yes, I will call him a Don. It's only a nickname as well, just to everybody out there. But like you gotta give the guy credit for this. You have to give the guy credit. 18, 19 million euros, it's an absolute steal. Some people are calling this guy con Paratici after 6 months. Look at the deal we got for Bentancur. Completely transforms the midfield. Romero completely transforms the defense. Kulusevski completely transforms that forward line. In fact, what you would say is he right through the spine of the team, he is strengthened, and that's only the start of his reign at Tottenham.
Who's the guy, Dave? Was it Moondog? Was it Dark G? I forget. Who said, name me better signing than Kulu, Bentancur, and Romero. And then someone went back 6-7 years, and then they glossed over the fact that that's ridiculous. If you're going back 6-7 years over 2 windows, and one of them is a January window, so not 2 summer windows, one summer window when he was signing for Nuno as well at the time. So one summer Nuno window and one January window for Conte. And the guys signed these players, and we can't find better signings, I guess somebody said, like since Wanyama or something, I think it was, or like Sonny or somebody even said. I don't even know.
Even putting Sonny and Wanyama into that debate, like it's very easy to forget that at the end of Sonny's first season at Tottenham, he wanted to leave. And I don't think we would have been too upset if he had left. He'd a very poor first season. But Romero, Bentancur, and Kulusevski have all had an immediate impact from the first second they stepped on the football pitch. Like, look at what Bentancur did against Brighton when he came on in his debut. His first touch was a roulette around the midfielder, and the second touch was like a nutmeg elastico, whatever it was, on the edge of his own box. As much as players in the long term haven't impacted in the way these guys have already, I can't remember a player that signed for Spurs and immediately short term had the impact that these guys are having. It is absolutely incredible. It's huge credit to Fabio Paratici and to Antonio Conte, because they're both in that together. But it's also shown the benefit of them bringing in two people who not only are who knows what it takes to win and have won quite a bit throughout their career, but have an incredible understanding and expertise in a league that hasn't really been tapped into in the Premier League. Like, it's hard to think of many Italian players that have gone on and been incredible in the Premier League. Gianfranco Zola is the first one that comes to mind, but Mario Balotelli is the only Italian ever to have won the Premier League, as a player. So I think that goes to show you that's a market that hasn't been tapped into in the Premier League. And you could question, first of all, is the ability there? Is the ability to adapt to the Premier League there within the Italian football setup? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But we have 2 men here who have an absolute expert understanding of that league. And in the space of 6 months between them, have plucked 3 players out of that league. The defender of the year in the Serie A in Italy, a country that is renowned for its defending. That is, it's an art in Italy being able to defend. Romero was the best there last year. And we brought in these two players who, again, you can say were a bit to the wayside at Juventus, but they were far from bench warmers and they were far from plan Bs in that team. And they've come in and had an immediate impact in the Premier League. And as frustrating as it is to open Twitter every day and see a new link to a new Italian player, it could be Gianluca Scamacca today. Tomorrow it'll be, Sailor-makers for AC Milan, whatever it is. Those players that we get in, you can guarantee they're going to be very, very good players because we have managers who know that league like the back of their hand. And we will have the bad signings. We will have the Pierluigi Gallinis. We will have the whatever other bad signings we made. You put Brian Gill in that category if you want. But I caught a lot of slack for Paratici. I really do, because he's coming from a Juventus side who dominated Italian football while he was there. Juventus were an extremely, extremely attractive proposition to any player that they wanted to bring in. I mean, he took Ronaldo away from Real Madrid. That's no easy achievement, but it's that pull that Juventus had. It's the money that they had. It's the success that they had. He's now adapting to a team that is the complete opposite of that. That is a very tight budget, that hasn't won a trophy in 14 years. It's going to be difficult to convince those players to join. But on top of that, he's also in an entirely new country, an entirely new league, an entirely new technical setup at Tottenham. It's going to take a long time to adapt. But the very fact that we've had these three incredible signings in that first 6 months gives me a lot of hope that Paratici, despite the failings he's had and despite the shortcomings that we will see from him in the future, is an absolutely outstanding buy, I suppose, from Tottenham to get him in and in charge of these transfers.
Beautifully put, Matt. Beautifully put. And I think,
thank you.
Yeah, it deserves an applause from the chat. And 300 million, you think about wasted from Steve Hitchen, and yet we're all of a sudden, I feel like, like microscopically, criticizing and getting all of a sudden so, rampant about 25 or whatever, not even 25, is 23 million wasted on Emerson. And, we're so rampant about it, yet 300 million was wasted during Steve Hitchen's time. I don't know. It just seems like we need to hold them to the same standard, if you ask me. But somebody in here, I believe it's 8-4, says, saying we won. Get the fucking hashtag coys. Come on, Aiden. Absolutely love it, my man. Absolutely love it. He's absolutely hyped, Dave. He's absolutely hyped. And Brian C. with a massive one saying, tell me why I love Spurs on Mondays. Lolo is insane in the middle, lads. Great stuff from the three of you on the watch along, as always. In Conte we trust. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Black Cap Army. Brian C., just want to say quickly, way too generous. I mean, usually Brian C., I'm going to say, as much as this was ridiculously generous, I'm kind of used to him, giving us, a bit of logic, a bit of wisdom, Dave. He hasn't graced us with the wisdom as much recently, but he's been extremely generous. And I would say is maybe he just can't find his words yet because Lolo was that ridiculous in the midfield. But what do you got to say to Brian C., Dave?
Look, first of all, I'm going to sing the song for him. Brian, tell me why I love Spurs on Mondays. Tell me why I love Spurs on Mondays. Tell me why. Come on. Big up, Brian C. Absolutely love it, my man. I am absolutely buzzing. Spurs winning 5-0. I'm going to have a games night with the missus now as soon as we finish as well. Going to spank her as well. Not even going to get at her win either. I can't wait. It's a great Monday. Great day to be alive. Look, Lolo is absolutely incredible. Completely transformed the midfield. Not only does he win the ball, he starts moves. He's so silky on the ball, skins players. He does everything. He does a bit of everything. He is a midfield specialist. And look, really appreciate the kind comments for the watch along. But it was 4 today. There's one guy behind the scenes that people aren't seeing. He's put in an incredible shift. And it's 4 people today. Nick in the background. But look, Brian, as we always say, in Conte we trust. And look, with you before, we've always done the lose and learn. But today it's win and glow up, my man. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Brian.
Big up, Brian. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Way too generous. Looking forward to maybe another, it seems like with Antonio, we need to get those, win or lose, series back for Brian, it feels like, Dave. But DMT85 saying, coming in here with the membership. Never mind, Dave. He's coming in here with the membership. And we haven't seen DMT85. I feel like he's been a member for quite a long time. So got to get in there, my man. Got to get in there. I mean, the fan show's tomorrow as well.
Yeah, no, fan show tomorrow, DMT. You've been in the chat a long, long time, my man. Make sure you get in, mix it up with myself and Jack, and come on and have your say. And there was one thing I want to say, everybody. If you do want to get your reactions of today's game up on the channel, guys, make sure you just send them in to me on Twitter, Instagram, and my email address, or even to my WhatsApp if you have my number. Record yourself with your reaction, your thoughts on today's game. Send them in, and it will go up on the channel. And Brian C, I'm looking at you, my man. You always do a good one. Send me in one, brother.
Send it in, Brian. Send it in, my man. As well as Oliver Freeman. Always love Oliver Freeman's as well. Neil saying, we have ourselves a crossing machine and a centering wing and a potential right wing back. Defense needs to stop playing one touch in your zone. It was Everton, however. Next game is the most important. I think a few things to touch on here. I mean, Neil, I brought this up a few times. I've seen some people, saying, guys, don't get too much over it. I've asked them a few times, should we, look at this the same way we look at the Leeds game as, just another atrocious team that we just kind of rolled over? I think they've kind of answered more or less, not really. But to be fair, I kind of still to a degree feel that way. I feel like this is a really bad team. I've never really rated Frank Lampard. I do feel like that Everton team is not very good. They almost even look worse now under Lampard than they do Benitez. They've let in a lot of goals, and unfortunately weren't even able to get to that in the pre-match build-up, because that was another question as well, because they've let in a lot of goals under Lampard, and now that's been made even worse. But perhaps Doherty is the right wing back to continue for the rest of the season. And Dave, Matt was saying all we need is just Emerson or him to play well for the rest of the season. We probably still want to get rid of both of them, but we just need one of them to play well for the rest of the season. Could it, in fact, be Matt Doherty?
Look, despite all the odds, it very well could be. But Jack, in a way, I'm not surprised. Look, I've been a harsh critic of him, and rightly so. But look, us Irish people, we know we have that fighting spirit in our blood, and we've always produced great fighters. We always have done, always will do. And that's what's come true here, Jack. Look, everything was stacked against them. The fans, maybe the management, the way he was playing. But somehow he's pulled it out of the bag. But like what Matt was saying earlier, alluding to that, he's now playing in his correct position. And hopefully now he can kick on and keep doing what he's done the last couple of games, all the way until the end of the season. Look, an incredible assist today. And long may it continue. Long may it continue with Matt Doherty.
Big up, Neil. Absolutely.
Look, we're going to need him to play the way he's been playing all the way to the end of the season if we want top four. We need Reguilon to come in and do what he done today if we want to make top four. We need Bentancur, Højbjerg to keep doing what they're doing. We need the defense to stay as solid as they were. We need Kane, Son, and Kulu to be as good as they were. We need everybody to get top four, because that's our best 11. Our best 11 out there.
Neil, I think you brought up a lot of really good points, and we do have a crossing machine. Maybe he even means Reguilon as the crossing machine. Who even knows? But Doherty was slipping through the through balls today. It was absolutely glorious, my man, and perhaps he could be that one for the rest of the season. Dark Sun G saying the reason Doherty plays well is because he has Kulu helping him and has Romero behind him, and also has players like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Ben covering for him, in my opinion. With this sort of lineup, Matt, is this the best, kind of way to get the best out of Doherty? Because he does have Romero to cover for him. He does have Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Bentancur to either side of him. And Kulusevski, we've seen, make Emerson look good, one match as well. Is this maybe the best sort of support around, the Irish Cafu to look good?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a player who, again, as good as he was today and as good as he has promised to be, I'd say, in the last couple of weeks, he's not the most technically gifted right back out there. He's not the best player in the world. He's not the best player in this team. He needs to have support around him, and he needs to have a little bit of balance. And I think that is what Tottenham have gotten absolutely perfectly in this system that we played today. Now, again, I will keep reiterating that we could play this exact same system against United on Saturday and lose 3-0. It's not. I'm not getting ahead of myself here and saying we're the best team in the world. We're getting top four, but solely looking at the way we played tonight with the opposition we had up against us, it was perfect, and it worked absolutely perfectly. And Doherty is a player that's shone within that system, and Kulusevski has that ability to be the player to float into those into those pockets in the middle, at which point then Doherty can stay out wide and he can whip one into the box, or as we saw, Kulusevski can peel out into those wide positions, allow that space for Doherty in the middle where he can then come in and play a pass like he did to Harry Kane for that fifth goal. And that's that balance that, as mentioned there by Dark Sun G, that security of having someone like Christian Romero behind him, I think is absolutely massive. And I said it when Romero went off. Within 60 seconds, Everton had their first and what turned out to be only chance of the game. Doherty's attacking output kind of faded a little bit as that game kind of petered out in the last half an hour. And it's probably because that security of Christian Romero behind him was gone as well. But I mean, it doesn't matter. We were 5-0 up. I mean, it's irrelevant. He could have, every time he got the ball, he could have put it out for a throw in, and we still would be applauding him, because at that point the game is over. You know, he did his job. But that balance is extremely important. And
Yes.
it's when you get that wrong, a player like Doherty is a passenger. But when you get that right, a player like Doherty is the one who can play to his strengths and really impact the game.
Perhaps actually, you know, we've said this before with other players, you know, when you do put them in the right system, they actually, in fact, you know, can, you know, be gems. We've said that with Tanguy, said that with Winks. We've said that with a variety of players. Perhaps it could be true with the Irish Coffee this time. But Dark Sun G as well, saying, I love it when our goals come from our defenders and our wing backs. I think Antonio Conte probably loves it more than anyone else, because it's just a replica of his system, or, you know, it just speaks to, you know, what he's trying to achieve with the squad. And I think he probably loves it more than anyone else, Dark Sun G. But Ian Cook has upgraded to membership, to a white membership, Dave. So I think he even became a membership today.
Yeah,
but is
he's
now even
already
upgraded.
upgraded. That's how good the channel is, lad. He's already upgraded.
Big up, Ian. Absolute legend. We'll catch you tomorrow, my man. We'll catch you tomorrow. Al Ben saying, still not convinced, Jack. You play a low block, we struggle. You attack us intently, we make mistakes. Everton did absolutely nothing. This is what I've been saying, Alan. I'm going to continue to ask them this. This is why I'm pressing them, you know, today on this sort of subject, is because, you know, I haven't brought up the low block yet. So thanks to you, Al, you know, I'll press them on that, you know, make it a bit more difficult for them. But as well, I feel like just Everton were that atrocious that I'm not as convinced. I think I'm going to bask in the win. Don't worry, I'm going to be ordering the Antonio Conte pizza. But maybe, you know, won't be the case next time. Might not have to order 2 pizzas this time around. But I don't know, Al. But I'm going to be grilling them later. My man. Don't you worry. But I'm kind of with you, brother. I'm kind of with you. Big up, Al, though. Absolutely.
We didn't let them do anything, though, Al. That's what I'd say to you, my man. We didn't let them do anything. We smothered them. In fact, what we done was smart. You know, we kept them going backwards, which was drawing them out, and it creates all that space then for our forwards. So then when we do get them the ball, it created all the space for us to play in. Very smart play today by Tottenham.
Dark Sun G saying, now if Skip returns, our bench will be stronger because Winks wouldn't make the bench. White, Golini, Skip, Bentancur, Pierre Moybier, Rodon, Stevie, Lucas, Scarlett, Sessignon, Reggie, Royale. This bench looks great. Bentancur will beat Pogba. Wow, he's all over it, Dark Sun G today. Do you feel like Winks still makes the bench, both of you? I mean, just quick answer. Does Winks still make the bench, you know, if Skip is back from Man United, Matt?
Yes, because we don't have enough midfield options to not put him on the bench.
Either White drops out or he gets
it's the same reason.
White,
yeah. In the same way that I think Tottenham are still in the top 4 race because everyone else is so bad, I think Winks is still in the midfield race because there's nobody else ultimately.
That's a great answer. Dave, does you know Skip is back and ready just like Bentancur was today? Does Winks even make the bench?
I think he will, just to kind of keep the squad happy and that till towards the end of the season. But I'll be very, very surprised if he's here next season. That's all I'm going to say on that. Especially with Skip coming back, Papa Marasar coming in. You know what I mean? You've got Harvey White coming through there. No doubt we'll be in the market for 1 or 2. It's goodbye, bon voyage, Alvida's in, whatever you want to say to Harry Winks in whatever language. Ciao. It doesn't matter. Goodbye.
I mean, the bench does look great the way that you've assembled it here, you know, Dark Sun G. It really does. And, you know, perhaps, you know, Bentancur will be sending Pogba to the floor a few times, you know, just showing him what it's like to be able to run a midfield. It feels like Pogba needs all the, you know, coddling in the world, you know, in the midfield. And Bentancur is just saying, you know, don't worry, I'll just run alongside Pierre. But big up, Dark Sun G. Absolute legend.
But Dark Sun G, just think of that song by Bob Marley and the Wailers, No Woman, No Cry. Just change the lyrics to No Winky, No Cry. I say, you know, that's what you got to do. No Winky, No Cry. That's what you got to listen to.
Dark Sun G again saying Dom Paratici, Romero, Galini, Hill, Sar, Ben, Kulu, Royale in one season. Steve last season. Doherty, Pierre Hoiberg, Bale, Reggie, Hart, Vinicius, Rodon. Don wins hand down for this. What's actually funny about this, Dark Sun G, this is probably one of Steve Hitchen's better like transfer windows, actually, I must say.
Mm.
The one that he's even picked is actually one of Steve Hitchen's better windows when you actually think about it. And does it still win then, Dave? I must say, this is, I'm not even kidding, this is one of Hitchen's best windows. So does it still win out?
No. No, look, Doherty's only come to the fore because Conte's come in. Pierre Hoiberg was a good signing. Bale, look, to be fair, he did only show up for a couple of months. Reggie, good signing. Hart, that's why we had to get Galini. Vinicius, I mean, that's why Scarlett's still around and has not been sent out on loan. Roden, shit. Look, for me, Don Paratici wins it hands down. He signed players that have come in straight into this first team and affected it.
Yeah.
And in a lot less time. 6 months. 6 months. This guy's been here, 7 months now? Sorry. I take it back. 7 or 8 months now he's been here. And look at the difference. Look at the difference in the quality of the players we're bringing in. We're bringing in players from Juventus. Could never say that on the Steve Hitchen.
No. And to be fair as well, like, I think what's maybe not being understood here is that this is, again, I'm not even kidding, one of Steve Hitchen's better windows as well that he's comparing it to. So fair play, Dark Sun G. He also, again, is in here saying Dom Paratici out, or the signings that he made out, or the outgoings were Dele Alli, Lo Celso, Tanguy, Aurier, Toby, Foyth, Hart, Sissoko, Rose. I mean, God, man, the guy's ruthless. Steve outgoings were Jan, Wanyama, Eriksson, Gazaniga, ? Trippier, and maybe others. Dom Paratici wins again on outgoings. Matt, do you feel like Paratici has won on outgoings so far in comparison to what Steve Hitchen has done over this time period? And then follow-up question, Matt. Paratici did have a very bad reputation about his ability to get players out of the door, which I think was very valid and very true at the time. But do you think he also, as a follow-up question, is perhaps maybe, I don't know, defying that sort of narrative?
I think the difference there between those two is, I think we'd look at that Hitchen window as a worse one because both of them, it's an exodus of players that ultimately needed to leave the club. But for Hitchen, it was the players that had been so good for us in the past that it then began to fade. So I think we would have a kind of, that would kind of pull on the heartstrings a little bit, seeing the Wanyamas go and the Amber Tongans go. But I think Hitchen was ruthless in that last window where he needed to be, because if we wanted to get back to the level we were at, I think we needed to reset a lot of things. Whereas with Paratici, the players he got out are ones that we all wanted to go and that never really have been good for the club. So that we may view that as a better window, but ultimately I think they're on par with each other. Sales that needed to happen. The only criticism I'd put on, not even a criticism, but I don't think Paratici has shattered any reputations in that regard, because unless Leon fork out 60-70 million at the end of the season, and Ndombele is a Spurs player again on the 1st of June, and unless Villarreal, I don't know if there's any agreement in that contract, but unless they fork out enough money to make Tottenham accept a bid, he's a Tottenham player again on the 1st of June, and we're back in square one with trying to get the two of those out. I think we've probably made our intentions clear, but the fact that they have been loaned out for the 6 months, and maybe that could be important with trying to convince them to leave the club in the summer, because at the moment they're on a whole lot of money to do a whole lot of nothing in that team, and it's a very easy paycheck for them. But it's the beginning of hopefully a ruthless couple of years of Paratici not holding on to any passengers, getting rid of the Harry Winkses, getting rid of, I think at this moment in time we'd have to say, the Emersons, and getting in, if we can get any more signings like Bentancur, like Romero, like Kulusevski, we're on a very good path. But Paratici, a very, very good start, but still does have some work to do, I think. But I agree with Dark Sun G that the work Paratici has done is definitely better than the work Hitchen has done, mainly because the incomings have addressed problem areas in the squad and haven't just been, as much as we are still selling to buy, it's not direct, okay, we've sold a right back, let's get a right back. I think we're kind of shifting the balance in that squad a little bit, which is extremely important to what we're trying to build under Conte.
Absolutely. Dave, I mean, just quickly, Paratici as well, he's also some of these outgoings, someone even put in the chat there, he got even Joe Hart out of the club for $1 million. Like, to a degree, you could say even made a profit on players like Joe Hart. He's made profit on to a degree Deli Ali. Somehow we're going to get paid, at the end of the day to get that guy out of the club. Some of the outgoings even have been more impressive than we ever even thought.
I mean, look, he's just come in and he's done what's needed to be done. Look, with Steve Hitchin and you're hearing he's so friendly with the players, and straight away it sent alarm bells ringing in my head. It's kind of like, well, this is a guy who's in charge of kind of, getting rid of these guys. No wonder why half of them are being allowed to stay here while not performing. But Don Partici comes in, no ties. Joe Hart, you're gone, £1,000,000. Thank you very much. There's a profit. Deli Ali, who, look, didn't look like he was going to go anywhere. It's like, look, we've got to get this kid off the books at all costs, get him off, potentially might get something for him. Serge Aurier, okay, I've instructed you to find a new club. You don't want to find one? Okay, well, you're now out of contract. You don't play professional football anymore. How's that? You gotta love it. You gotta love the rootlessness that this guy has come into this club with. And it needed someone like him, though, Jack. It needed someone like him to just come in, be rootless, and completely cull it. And that's what he's done. And now is the time to now go and rebuild it. So hopefully this January window or this summer window could be huge. It could be huge. Look, people that have their reservations about him, right? I can understand it. But what I will say is, like, before he came in, we would have looked at this squad ourselves and said, right, at least 15 of these players we would sell. We want out. At least 15. That's how bad it was. Now, that is a huge, huge rebuild. Now, everyone that expected this guy to come in and do everything within the summer and January transfer window, I can get why you're disappointed and upset. But you've also got to understand how big it was, how big this rebuild is, and that it was always going to take more than it's even going to take more than this summer transfer window. But you have to understand the size of the rebuild, because if you don't, you're just going to be angry every single day about it. But when you really take on board the magnitude and the size of the rebuild, you don't get angry because you understand it takes time. And for me, you got to give Paratici time. People that I've heard people make excuses for Steve Hitchin. Oh, it's Daniel Levy's fault. Steve Hitchin acted like that, and it's kind of like, yeah, I can get that, but he also had 300 million to spend. Where did it go? Where did it go? But then in the same breath, you want to criticize Paratici, and it's kind of like, well, Paratici has already shown me that he can do more in the January transfer window and the summer transfer window than what Steve Hitchin has ever been able to do with 300 million. So I mean, you just got to give it time. I know, as Spurs fans, we don't want to be patient. We don't have time. Our club has been in decline. But with Conte at the helm and Paratici there, as long as them two stay, I do see a clear path and a vision forward. We just got to be patient. And I know not
Absolutely.
everybody wants to be, but you do.
Absolutely, Dave, and I completely agree. I think there's still plenty probably to talk about, but we have a fan show tomorrow. To be able to discuss it. Probably player ratings as well. Gonna probably bask as much in the win as we probably can. Get as much out of it. Juice every single ounce out of it. But I do think we have a few people to thank for today, and one of them being Matt Hayes. Matt, just put the link into the chat there to anybody who might be new in the house that needs to get on over to your channel. But Matt, thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate you being with us for this unbelievable test run that we've done. It's been a great pleasure to actually have you actually be the first one for it. Real honor. But what can they find over at your channel, my man?
Yeah, look, the honor is absolutely all mine. The two of you have done an unspeakable amount for my channel, so I can only begin to repay the favor. Absolute pleasure coming on with you guys, and happy to be on the inaugural show of the famous match clock. But yeah, look, my channel is in the live chat there. If anyone wants to head over, my Twitter as well is at Matt Hayes THFC. I'm a bit more active on there at the moment. Usually annoying people, which is really enjoyable. I put out a tweet yesterday joking that we needed to get Toby Alderweireld as a number 10, and people thought I was being serious. So if you want any of that fishing on Twitter, at Matt Hayes CHFC. But the main sport needs to be given here to David and to Jack.
Wow, very, very too kind, too humble, Matt. But Dave, I think as well, we have somebody, by the name of Nick, Lazy 801, that I know we definitely need to be thanking for this one. Everybody, you can thank everything that's been happening behind the scenes today, everything from us being all in sync, to the timer for you guys to be in sync, to basically, I don't know, Dave, every single thing that's practically happening on the screen right now, you could probably say is, thanks to Nick. So everybody who's seen him probably on the fan show every once in a while, seen him come on Lazy 801, you could say the Godfather, the fairy Godfather, I would say, behind the scenes here. I think everybody definitely in the chat needs to give him a big thank you.
Yeah, no, look, what Nick has done today, and but not even today, Jack, to be honest with you, for a while now, where he's come on board, he's helped you out with the camera. I have mine set up now that I know the clock board and the scoreboard and the ticker works, for the next game, it's going to be fully all up and running. But, down to the thumbnails, the intros, this guy is absolutely incredible at what he does. And then to sit here and listen to us three gobshites for the whole game, before and after, and run it, without even coming on, it's absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable what this guy has done for us. And there's probably no way we can repay him. But everybody, just give him a bit of love in the chat. And if there is anybody looking for anything done for their channel and stuff like that, maybe hit him up, throw a few bob his way, because he's definitely worth it. For me, I think he's one of the best in the business. And we've been so lucky to have someone like him come on board. But like I said, guys, if anyone out there is doing channels and stuff like that, Nick is your man. Get in contact. He'll sort you out. But look, I also want to say a massive thank you to Matt Hayes today for coming on. It's been an honor sitting here with Matt Hayes. Look, when I first started, I never thought Matty Hayes would be sitting on my watch along. I really didn't. And it's been good to have Matty on. It's felt like a bit like the old days as well, where we used to do the watch alongs on Matty's channel. And of course, as always, Matt is incredible, just the way he comes across with his points. He thinks about stuff that no one else might. So a massive thank you to you, Matty, but also to yourself, Jack. You got to take a lot of credit for, getting this together today was a lot of headaches, and you were in here nice and early to kind of make sure everything was running smoothly before I got in here after being on the We Are Tottenham TV pre-match build-up. So again, a massive thank you to you, my man. But where can people find you?
I did put the link in there, everybody. If you wanted to maybe catch anything more of what Dave and I have said, we did just have a bit of a debate on who the best players in the world are in each and every position. I think it really was a banger. Hopefully do check it out, as well as plenty of other content out there. Did take a look at Wilfried Singo, that right wing back that Spurs are looking at, but plenty of content over there. Would really appreciate the support. It really does go a long way. And I think, certainly a really good community over there. But Franco Martini in here saying, no way we will make a profit on Dumbele, but to get 200 grand a week off the wage bill is 10 million a year saved. So sniff at it. Why don't? What a legend, Franco.
Big up Franco. Basically, Franco's just giving it the big suck that, I love that. I love it, Franco. You tell him, my man. You tell him. No, look, it's a good bit of business getting them off the wage bill. It frees up wages for us, like you said, frees up. Well, it won't be 10 million. It'll probably be half that because it's half a season. So roughly around 5 million. But look, that's 5 million that can go into pre-contracts and stuff like that. That's 5 million that can go into a budget at the summer if Leon take up the deal, which I know looks like a hefty fee from the outside. We also have to understand we still owe them money for the end on Belly deal. So they might actually just cut what we owe them, and then it could end up being around whatever, half that. So that would be nice. But no, big up Franco. I love that.
And then just quickly, Ben Kaufman, the absolute legend himself. Hopefully we catch you tomorrow, Ben. And he's saying, back from the game. Big up, boys. Everton are shit. So, yeah, I think they really are. This is why I'm
He's right,
a bit worried. This is why I'm just a bit worried. But we'll talk it all over tomorrow, Ben. But really do appreciate you tuning in. Really do appreciate you coming in here. But everybody, I would say everything you need to know for sending in the fan cams, which I think really do go. I think they're really great. I watch all of them, especially if you're coming on the fan show. I definitely watch them. So everybody, do send in your fan cams. Everything you need to know about them is in the description down below. There are a variety of ways you can contact David or I to send them in, as well as we do have the fan show tomorrow and plenty of other things coming up. I think there was one other thing I was going to say, Dave, but I do kind of am forgetting that maybe is important. But really, everybody, just want to say maybe just since it's coming to mind. Everybody, really massive support. So many people in the house consistently tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the watch along. Hopefully this is obviously probably what everybody wants to be seeing. But we really do appreciate everybody sticking by us, sticking with us. And this is exactly what I think the Harris Army deserves. But really do appreciate all the support tonight, and also a ton of super chats as well. So really, really generous.
Yeah, look, and from me, I want a massive thank you to everybody who has tuned in over the course of the day, the pre-match build up to now. A massive thank you to every single one of you. These channels are absolutely nothing without you guys, so really, really do appreciate it. A massive thank you. A massive thank you to everybody who has smashed that like button, the subscribe button, and a massive thank you to everybody who has helped this channel financially. You have no idea how much it helps keep me and Jack on the right path towards our dream, which is, hopefully taking over Spurs content on YouTube, and keep doing this full time. So a massive thank you to everybody. But look, most of all, a massive thank you to Nick, who has maybe made it look a lot easier on everybody's eyes out there with the nice graphics, the clock, the scoreboard, and stuff like that. But look, most of all, a massive thank you to fucking Tottenham and BKH. We are back, baby. Absolutely loving life. Tell me why I love Spurs on Mondays. Someone please. But look, we're going to end it off there. We'll see you back here tomorrow for player ratings and the fan show. Anyone wants any fan cams, just send them in. But as always, come on, you Spurs. In content we trust.
In content we trust. Come on, you Spurs.